Let's get nasty on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Full show back again.
Hey.
Carey, how you feeling, buddy?
I'm alive. You too, guys.
70% or so?
I almost called you something else. No, not this time.
No, it did.
No,
we went over it yesterday.
Yeah, you tried to blame me yesterday, Carey. You tried to blame me
He's
yesterday.
the only one that it hasn't touched yet.
It will.
Well, probably. You missed it. Jim Montgomery said I was the toughest guy on the show.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Monty's using the scale of not being sick.
Wow.
I don't care. Honestly,
Well,
you know when you get that moniker, you hold on.
I don't blame you. You should.
So Carey's back. Welcome back, buddy. Andrew Marsh here, Jamie Rivers here. I'm Anthony Stalter. 203, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Speaking of back, Carey's not the only one back. Nick Leddy is back in the lineup for the Blues. Ideally, Jamie, your defensive core is essentially at full strength again.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the next steps now, you've got Tucker, Kessel. What happens now with those two guys specifically now that Nick Leddy's back?
Well, Kessel, that roster move's already happened. They reassigned him back down to Springfield.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens long term there. And Tucker's injured right now. He hurt himself in the game in Utah. Went into the boards really weird. I don't know if it's your shoulder, collarbone-ish type thing. They say he's day-to-day, but he's not a player tonight and probably not a player on Thursday. So, Nick Leddy, who was on the trip with us, and by the way, him being injured, I got to spend some time talking to him. What a great dude. He would be, you would be happy to have him in on the fast lane, by the way. Nick Leddy's a great dude. And he was just working away to get back into the lineup. And when I talked to him on the plane coming home from Utah, I said, hey, man, saw you at practice yesterday. A little bit of contact, He's like, yeah. He says, we're getting there. I said, well, targeting like after the break, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's like, I don't know. Could be sooner. Well, it's sooner.
Wow. So you picked up on something.
Yeah, Well, you can tell when the player's ready to go because the practice habits change a lot.
Yep.
They go from happy to be out there to I'm tired of practicing. And when you see the player that's tired of practicing, the next step is back in the lineup.
Sure.
So it's good to see him back in the lineup. It's really wild to think of this. The Blues' current defense core, as it sits with the 6 players in the lineup, I think they have over 4,500 games of experience.
Wow. It's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
Carey, that's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
I mean, it's just a few more games than Yager, but still.
Barely.
Barely is right, about 1,500 or so.
What has he done?
What has he done?
Yeah.
Played in 3,000 games. That's what he did.
So,
hell are you talking about?
Eventually.
but Nick Leddy coming back tonight in particular against an Edmonton Oilers team that's full of firepower. This is your best defense core right now. Like Tyler Tucker brings an element, and we're going to talk about Tyler Tucker later on in the show because he brings an element to this team that nobody else does. He's got, 4 fights this year. He's burying guys. He's playing exactly the way he needs to play to stay in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, your best defense core to put in the lineup, like if tonight was a playoff game, these are the 6 guys.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it works out. You got Connor McJesus, you got Leon Draisaitl, you've got a whole slew of scoring sensations in the Edmonton Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if this defensive core keeps them off the board and then gives you an opportunity to score some goals and win a game.
Yeah. When it comes to Nick Leddy, I always remember the first time that they acquired him from Detroit and his ability to move the puck through the different zones and do it with great ease always stood out. Do you think he's that same player in that regard, or do you think that his game, even though he can still be productive, has dipped in that area? Because the Blues could use some more offense.
Oh, from Nick Leddy?
Yeah, I mean they can use more offense, and it starts from the back end with smooth transitions into the neutral zone, clean entrance, clean exits, clean entrances. I feel like Nick Leddy is that guy for the Blues.
He's great. Look at when Nick Leddy's on his game, he skates as good as anybody. Skates himself out of trouble, can join the attack offensively, steady defensively. There was a period of time where him and Parayko, great shutdown tandem. He's not going to slot back in there. He's going to play alongside Suter, and that's great. 2 veteran guys. But, yeah, anytime you add a player that can skate like Nick Leddy, it helps all of your transition game from offense or from defense to offense and from offense to defense. Mm-hmm. And if you get the luxury of having Nick Leddy back in the lineup tonight is if you get a Connor McDavid line change somewhere, you don't really have to worry. Ultimately, you'd like Fowler and Parayko out there against him. But if he ends up, if he's playing against Broberg and Falk, you're fine.
Yeah.
If he's playing against Suter and Leddy, you're fine. Suter was matched up against Connor McDavid last year in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So he's pretty familiar with the guy.
Sure.
So, I think that Nick Leddy's skating ability helps this team a lot.
So the Blues tonight will take on the Oilers, as we just mentioned. The puck will drop at 7 o'clock, but we'll have the pregame for you right here on 101 ESPN starting at 6 o'clock. It's a national game, so our guy Jamie Rivers is going to be with us for the full 4 hours of the show today.
What?
Bob,
they didn't tell me that.
Carey, I think about 4 o'clock.
No, what?
He's going to be itching to get out of here?
I think about 4 o'clock he'll be itching.
You guys, I forgot. I'm actually part of something else down there. I got to leave at 4.
Nah, you're going to be right here, Jamie.
Damn it.
You're going to be right here. So after finishing their 6-game homestand on a sour note, the Oilers try to get back on track again tonight at Enterprise. So they dropped the first game of their homestand before rattling off 3 straight victories. And then the Oilers faded in the final 2 games, though. They lost 3-2 to Detroit in a shootout and then fell 4-3 to Toronto on Saturday. They're coming off a game in which, I don't know, Jamie, if you caught any of that game against Detroit, where things they were up, I think, at 1 point 3-0, or maybe that was the other game. Maybe it was a Toronto game. They're up 3-0 against Toronto, and the Maple Leafs came roaring back. Now that is a team that has handled the Oilers in previous meetings, but still, this is. I'm not going to sell it as they're a wounded team, but
no, they're a good team.
They're certainly one that, again, blew a pretty significant lead and are coming off a loss. So they'll either get one that's pissed off coming into town tonight, or maybe they're off their game. Either way, strong starts need to be there for the Blues.
I hope they're off their game, Anthony. Yeah, they won't be. You're going to have to earn this.
They're going to be so locked in.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
You're going to have to earn this victory. Look, man, the schedule for the Blues in the month of February, it's a short month because of the 4 Nations tournament and all that, but you started off with Utah, which is fine. You're like, okay, we've got the Utah Hockey Club. Then you're rewarded with the Oilers, the Panthers, and then you get the Blackhawks on the weekend, and you got the 2-week break, and coming out of the break, you got Winnipeg and Colorado. Then you get Seattle to plop in there, and then you got Washington. So you only really, if you were looking at this from a gambling standpoint, right?
Yeah.
There's only 2 games you're favored in, probably.
Seattle.
And?
We'll see. List them off for me.
Well, Saturday night's game, the Blackhawks.
Chicago.
Oh, well, if you just listed off the team,
Anthony, if I said Oilers, Panthers, Jets, Blackhawks, you'd be like, Chicago.
Blackhawks, yeah. That's what I wanted to do. That's all. Wanted to play the game.
Oilers, Panthers, Blackhawks, Jets, Avalanche, Kraken.
Blackhawks and Kraken.
There you go. Look at that.
Good job.
I did it, Carey.
Good work.
Thank you.
So it's going to be a tough month.
Yeah, to say the least. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, you can join BK downtown.
Captain America himself.
This weekend, it's the Wheel at Union Station. Captain America Brave New World is coming out, so you can join Brandon Kiley and 101 ESPN. Hey, that's us. This Saturday at the St. Louis Wheel at Union Station, which will be transformed into Captain America's shield. So Union Station will be transformed into Captain America's shield. Marshy, what's that shield made of?
Vibranium.
That's correct. This Saturday from 5 to 7, first 50 fans will receive complimentary Ferris wheel ride, Fandango movie ticket codes, chance to win prizes, photo ops, and more. And it's all courtesy of the new Captain America Brave New World film. It's this Saturday from 5 to 7 with BK at the St. Louis Wheel at Union Station with Marvel Studios. Captain America Brave New World arriving only in theaters on February 14th. You can get all the details at 101ESPN.com. It's the Fast Lane. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Carey, since he was out yesterday, didn't get to react to the Luka Doncic trade between the Lakers and the Mavericks, in which Anthony Davis was sent to Dallas. Yeah.
Snooze.
You been in a coma or just sick?
Maybe a little
like
bit.
it.
Yeah. Is this a trade? Is this trade just the drama that the NBA needed to get more eyeballs on its product?
Ooh.
That's next on 101 ESPN. One of my favorite sporting events all year long is the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. It comes to St. Louis every year. It's held at Enterprise Center. It's the Arch Madness Tournament. And right now, this conference has been crazy. You got Drake at 10-2. They've got 8 straight wins. Bradley had a rough one over the weekend in which they lost to Northern Iowa, but Bradley's in second place, and the Panthers from Northern Iowa are in third. But the Arch Madness Tournament, it's never short on drama. It's always exciting. And if you're a family and you want kind of an inexpensive, great time, check out the Family Fun Pack. It's available for purchase at the Enterprise Center box office right down there in downtown from February 1st through March 9th. So it's available right now. You can take that Family Fun Pack, which includes 4 single-session tickets for 1 session only to the 2025 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Tournament held at Enterprise Center, 4 large sodas, and 4 regular popcorn. So if you got a family of 4, perfect. You got buddies that want to go. Maybe you just want to make it kind of something different, right? Something fun that, you love basketball. You want to take the family down there or friends, great. The Family Fun Pack, perfect way. All for $100. It includes the $4 facility fee per pack, which is a tremendous value. It's a $220 value. So check them out. Missouri Valley Conference, the Family Fun Pack available right now at the Enterprise Center box office. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. So, Carey, you didn't have an opportunity to react to the Luka Doncic trade yesterday because you were out sick. And there's one of our computers is going off right now.
It just did it again.
Everything good, guys?
Yeah. It just did it on its own.
Everybody's a mess. Everybody's a mess right now.
There is a thing we can go to the bottom of the computer screen, and there's the speaker, and you can just click it.
Right.
And it just
I've
mutes
done it.
everything.
So look, I've done it twice, and it's unclicking on its own.
What?
Jamie?
These computers are coming alive.
It's a click.
This is-
X.
Well, it's the content that they're viewing.
Well,
It messes up the screen.
But you see that it's
They call it
clicked.
spam.
Carey, you've been
Had
warned.
nothing to do with that.
Carey, you've been warned about this.
It's clicked.
About that sort of material.
It has
on
done
your
it twice
computers.
on its own.
I would close out of that if I were you.
You saying there's a just prohibited at work?
So, but yeah.
Okay.
Prohibitado.
It's got the one computer, too, where everybody can see it. I mean,
Yep.
Carey, you're taking unnecessary risk right
That's
now.
ridiculous.
A little
You're
bit of
right.
internet roulette. Carey likes to play it.
Anyway, Carey, me, Jamie, Marsh, we're all like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
For Dallas. Is there something we're missing?
Well, yeah, but hang on. What doesn't make sense is, yes, it doesn't make sense for Dallas, but then I'm listening to analysts talk about how the Mavericks got the best of this. The Mavericks are the better team now. And, like, how make it make sense?
They might be the better team today in terms of their opportunity or their chances to win a championship for 2025, 24-25.
Because Luka's not playing.
Because they got what they needed to be a better team. They got better defensively. At the end of the day, and their general manager mentioned that defense wins championships. If there's a Brian Windhorst broke it down perfectly last season during the NBA Finals. Luka Doncic is an outstanding basketball player offensively. Mm-hmm. He wants to score. He can score at will. 5-time All-NBA. That means top 5 players in the league for the last 5 years.
And he's only 25.
Top 3 MVP voting, top 4 or 5 over the last 4 years. He's outstanding. He don't want to play no defense, though. He does not want to engage on the defensive end. He does not get back on the defensive end, and it's 4-on-5. It's 4 defenders on his team versus 5 players because he's back there complaining to the referee. The Mavericks have had issues with him being in shape, being what he needed to be the best version of himself. And the bad part about it is when you're that talented and can get away with it, why the hell do I need to change? Right? When I'm able to do all of these things, you see the same thing with Zion Williamson. He's always been kind of heavier, but he can dunk, he can jump, he's extremely athletic. But over time, that wears on your body, and you're unable to sustain the level that you need to sustain when you're not in great shape. And so that's been their complaint about Luka. It's been the lack of defense. It's been the not being in shape, and most people will say, well, who cares? He's scoring. Yeah, that's one aspect of the game. But if I'm consistently playing 4-on-5 on the defensive end because you're not hustling back or you're not working to get back, it's trouble for the rest of our team, and you're putting the team in a bad position. And, Jamie, to your point, when people are saying the Mavs won this trade, because now the Lakers got 2 guys that do that. This is when people talk about, LeBron's the greatest player. He's not. Because he doesn't play defense. He's
the defensive player of the year. Just ask him.
He's never been.
Ask him.
Nope.
He's been robbed.
If you ask him, he gets credit for chase down blocks, for off the ball defense. That's when other people are playing good defense. Somebody gets by their guy, and he comes and makes a spectacular play, and it's a highlight. He does not play great on ball defense, and now you got 2 guys in Luka and LeBron who don't hustle back on defense. Nobody says anything to LeBron because he's LeBron. Nobody says anything to Luka because he's Luka. The Mavs were playing 4-on-5. The Lakers are going to be playing 3-on-5.
They should get James Harden.
Do that, and then defense is optional.
Think of the points they're going to score.
They're going to win every game, 150 to 149.
I know I said this time and time again about the importance of offense. We talk about it with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go on the opposite side this time.
What? Yeah. Hold on. Time out. Can I call it to you?
Here? I've seen the error in my ways, Anthony.
Carey, I appreciate you saying that, but let me get my time out here.
Go ahead.
Jamie.
An official timeout, sir.
Yes, Jamie.
Technical.
Marshy, can you turn the mics off for a second? Okay. I just got to talk to Jamie.
Yeah, they're off.
Isn't Carey the one that constantly talks about offense and like, oh, just score 9 to 8? He brings it up in baseball. And isn't Carey also the one that's like, I don't know how you ever get better when you lose your best player? You know, the Bills, man.
Remember that Stephon Diggs crap?
That's what I'm saying.
Remember that crap?
Am I crazy or?
Yeah, you're not.
Is this the?
Oh, I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Yeah.
Marsha, the mics are on, right?
Yeah, but Anthony, you know when you turn the mics off, you're still talking. We're in the same room, so he can still hear you.
Yeah,
we are in the same room.
It's a timeout.
Yeah, but he can still hear you, though. You know, even if the mics are off.
Okay.
But
Jamie, you feel me?
We're like 5 feet away from each other.
Carey does.
Which is why we all get sick.
Yeah,
Clearly.
seriously.
Anthony.
Yeah. We had a nice thing going, and now look at you.
Carey did
on you. Yeah.
Carey does this all the time.
Yeah.
He takes a stance on something. I'm going to die on that hill. Till the next hill pops up and goes over there and dies on that.
I think to all your points, though, like no matter how you look at it, this is exactly like what the NBA needed. They needed people talking about their sport. We're talking about their sport.
They don't even talk about it. We don't even watch basketball.
Anthony Carey said yesterday that he wants to see how this plays out, and he doesn't even like the NBA.
Yeah, true. Very true.
And he wants to watch it now.
I want to watch now. I do. Whenever Luka comes back, I want to see if he's got the jam to stick it where the sun don't shine on the Mavericks.
Oh, he's going to score. He might score 85 points.
Well, then I don't see the
and
problem.
they might lose by 15. Who knows? Because nobody's getting back on defense.
So, Carey, and you can turn the mics back on.
Thank you. Appreciate
How
it.
long till Luka and LeBron have a fist fight on the court?
LeBron's not a fighter, so never. He's not an aggressive guy. You wouldn't want to be around a guy like that. You and I.
I've never liked LeBron, so that's not no argument here, Carey.
He's just not an aggressive person. Like, he's more passive-aggressive from what I've seen. I don't know him personally, but I don't think he's confrontational.
Yeah, but until Luka has the ball for 85% of the game.
Yeah, then he'll just try to find a way to...
He'll just trade him.
Well, he didn't know about Anthony
Here's
Davis.
the bad part. Here's the bad part.
Somebody backdoored him, or LeBron knew and just didn't tell Anthony Davis.
This is the bad part. So I was watching the press conference with Rob Pelinka, the Lakers general manager.
How weird is that?
And Luka. Yeah, he looks just like him, doesn't he?
He's so weird. He had his Fonzarelli jacket on today.
He was good. And I don't know, maybe I caught the tail end of it. I didn't hear them mention LeBron once. Like, they were talking about, the future and Luka and how this team is. And I'm like, damn.
You mean they didn't talk about Bronny?
I didn't hear him say much. I didn't hear. And again, maybe I caught the tail end of it.
Sure.
But I just heard them talking about 10, 15 years, Luka's team. And it kind of felt like right now.
If LeBron's playing 10 years from now,
he's not going to be
wrong.
playing. I doubt it, but it's still...
How old is he right now?
41.
He ain't playing in 10 years.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so.
No,
Yammer Yager's still playing hockey.
Yeah,
Anthony. He had a great shot the other night.
He's trying to prove me right.
Twine.
He's trying to prove me right about the 3,000 games.
Yeah, just not in the NHL, but
Either way.
Who cares? Still pro.
Thank
Still
you.
playing.
Still playing.
Jamie played in those leagues. You're going to knock Jamie's career, not me.
I will.
All right, so Carey, you've seen the error in your ways.
I have.
You're now somebody that appreciates defense.
I've always appreciated it, but I appreciate it more when I got guys that are hustling back on the defensive side of things because, playing 3-on-5 defensively is going to be a tough task.
Well, and Marsh, as you have pointed out here, it is the NBA. I remember when, and I can't remember which Super Bowl it was. It might have been the unfortunate Rams-Bengals one, but when Anthony Davis wanted to be traded from New Orleans, and it was Super Bowl week, and that's all anybody talked about. And the NFL has shifted into NBA territory. The biggest shift has been on Christmas Day. NBA, Christmas Day, that's our day. And the NFL goes, we'll take that too. And the NBA has fallen further and further behind. But this is one thing that the NBA has and the NFL can't really match up with. It's the constant trade chatter, including big-time stars. And you don't get the star movement in any other sport like you do in the NBA. We'll see if it translates, though, from this is exciting and everybody's talking about it to actually watching the games.
it is funny that you brought up the trade for AD during the Super Bowl. Could you imagine if this happened this Saturday night? the night before the Super Bowl?
I don't know if it'll say. Do you think it would?
I don't know if it have as much of an effect.
I agree
because people are so dialed into the Super Bowl. At that point.
I don't know because these are two
You're a
teams.
week out.
Yeah, but think about it. The Chiefs are in it again. People are they're getting Chief fatigue.
What?
The Eagles are back in it again. We just saw this matchup 2 years ago. Maybe people are kind of over these two fan bases.
Sure.
Nah.
This is dominating right now sports. I wonder if this were to dominate national media.
I think you're over it. But you know what? At some point,
I'm not projecting.
you just have to appreciate what's going on in Kansas City
Oh, gosh.
with my Chiefs.
Oh, my God.
Oh man, yeah, we went a full week I think without hearing about
I
it.
wasn't here yesterday, so I didn't hear it.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And to further my point about LeBron not being great defensively, because people say, "Oh, you're hating on LeBron." He doesn't. He's been in the league 20 years. He's 6-time All Defensive Player. LeBron was in the league. I'm sorry, Jordan was in the league for 15 years. He won. He was Defensive Player 9, All Defense 9 times, Defensive Player of the Year once. Kobe 20 years, 12 times All Defense. So when I say he doesn't play,
So you're saying Kobe is the all-time great?
no. I still say Jordan is.
What's your
Jordan
problem with Kobe?
No, I love Kobe. I say Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, but people think I'm
What
hating.
about Magic?
Magic's the greatest point guard to ever play the game.
What about Kareem?
Kareem, greatest center.
Wilt.
Second, third greatest center.
What Larry Bird?
Greatest shooter after Steph Curry.
What's your problem? Why don't you like some of the classics?
Literally just praised each and every anybody we threw in to be praised. Jamie goes, "What's your problem?
I gave them all praises.
What's your deal today?"
I just want to get to the root of all of his anger today, you know?
Answered all the questions. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 to ESPN. There's one team in the NFL that kind of caught some, I don't know if they caught flack, but there was some surprise last night based on reports about who they're going to trade. Very popular player. I think it's smart, and other teams, maybe even one locally, could learn from him. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Nick Leddy is back in the lineup for the Blues tonight as they take on the Edmonton Oilers. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll talk with Joe Vitale at 5:30, so stay tuned for that interview. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
So we're having our pre-show meeting, and Marsh had mentioned that, hey, did you guys see that the Rams have decided to actively seek a trade for Cooper Kupp? And Cooper Kupp, toward the end of the year, there was some talk about whether or not he would be back with the Rams or whether or not they would move on. And he kind of floated out there that, yeah, I don't know, if he goes, I want to play football, but I don't know if it's going to be with the Rams. And that kind of led to, all right, well, could the Rams seek a trade? Do they want to seek a trade? Cooper Kupp wanted to be a Ram for life. Wanted to end his career with them.
Why?
Oh, they
won a Super Bowl with them.
Championship team.
Yeah.
Jamie?
Whatever.
Anyway, the Rams said, we're going to look to trade you immediately. They're done. And Marsh was like, what are they doing? And to me, this is a perfect example. And I think the Cardinals have an issue with this, which is that, and the Cardinals aren't the only one. It's just I'm going to localize this. But the Cardinals have a habit of looking at a player, especially one that they have drafted and developed, and say, one more year. One more year, we'll figure this out. I don't want him playing for another team, he'd burn us. Or he won a championship here. We can't move on from him, even though his skills might be diminishing. We can't do it. Teams that move on from a player, and this is the Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells line of thinking. Teams that move on from a player 1 year too soon than too late are often in better shape. Yes, they could be more cutthroat, but I think it's important when you're looking at a roster to know his production no longer matches the salary, and we can find a player that at the very least his rookie year gives us the same and will start to elevate.
Settle down.
I mean, Cooper Kupp, it's not like he was a first overall pick.
No rookie's giving you the same.
He's already been replaced.
Well, yeah.
By Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
The Cooper Kupp now.
Yeah.
The Cooper Kupp now, not the Super Bowl MVP. Did he win MVP? Or is that Stafford? No, it was Cooper Kupp, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Cooper Kupp.
It was on that team.
I'm not talking about. Oh, damn. I'm not talking about the MVP.
No, he was on the team.
I'm talking about right now, though. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Anthony, you're right. Don't let Jamie get in your
You don't
head.
know. You didn't Google anything.
I know. I watched the damn game.
You don't remember things like that.
I certainly do.
Everything.
Regardless.
What was the colors that year of the Super Bowl logo?
The Super Bowl logo?
Oh,
it was
no.
blue and, it was blue and orange.
He knows.
Of course it was blue and orange.
No, never mind.
It's easy to remember. It's the two teams that were in the damn Super Bowl.
It fit the script.
It fit the script.
Yeah.
And he had a dream that night that he would win Super Bowl MVP, and then he won. I remember that.
Wow.
With the Broncos colors?
The Bengals and the Rams colors.
This guy, he's trying to throw us off.
I know
He does that a lot.
No, I'm not.
does a
He
good
might
job.
actually. He might not be. He might be throwing himself off.
I got things going on.
We kind of get just caught up in the whirlwind of it all.
Anthony Cooper Kupp.
That's normal for him.
There's other teams that I think fail in this regard, but I think the Cardinals are one of them. They don't know where the value of a player is, or they become too emotionally attached to him. Like, this guy's not going to burn us. Rather keep him. Well, he stinks now. That's fine. He'll be better. I think that teams that are active in knowing when a player is either on his way out or maybe a year or two away from being done and too expensive, they're often in better shape when it comes to the roster. But I think it's a skill.
Yeah. I agree with you. And when you look at the last couple of seasons in particular for Cooper Kupp, it's been less production, more injury. So what would make anybody in their right mind think we're going to pay a premium for maybe another season of lower production and maybe more injury?
Mm-hmm.
Move him along. You got Puka Nacua, who I feel like that guy came out of like nowhere.
Yeah,
and he's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Stafford, who's still a really good quarterback, proved it last year again. Get a young receiver in there, or whatever, do it, whatever you have to do. But what do you even get for Cooper Kupp, though? Like,
I don't think much.
Like floating him out there, it's not like you're floating out Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs. Like,
right.
It's Cooper Kupp, who has been injured, and his production has been, it's been fine.
Yeah.
Fast lane fine.
He had one catch in the game against was it the Eagles or the Vikings? One of those games. I think it was like a miraculous catch, maybe against Marsh's Minnesota Vikings. Otherwise, he didn't have anything. He hasn't done much.
Well, he didn't need to do really much.
No, he didn't. I'm sorry, Marsh. I didn't want to go there.
No, it's fine.
But
Carey, one catch against Minnesota. He had 5 catches against the Vikings.
Okay, so
against the Eagles.
So the one catch against Minnesota.
Yeah.
But Carey, I often think of you in this regard when you look at a team and it's like, we'll hold on to him.
Yeah.
We'll hold on to him. We'll hold on to him. We'll hold on to him. Value has completely decreased to beyond what Cooper Kupp's value is right now. And then, we got to move on from him anyways. And he's occupying a spot.
Yeah.
Again, I think talented teams can realize when they need to move on.
For that offense, the way the Rams run their offense, they're going to feature one receiver, and they don't need a receiver of Cooper Kupp's caliber to be on their roster. They can get other guys to fill that role. Last year, Puka Nacua had 160 targets.
Wow.
The year that Cooper Kupp had the most yards receiving, most catches, he had 145 receptions. He had 190 targets. Like, they're going to throw the ball consistently to one person, and with both of those guys being on the roster, you just saw Puka Nacua essentially took over the same spot that Cooper Kupp had a few years ago when he was having such a great season.
Right.
So for me, you're probably not going to get a player in return. You're probably not looking for a player. You're probably looking for a 4th, 5th round pick. If you do get a player in return that can help your defense or help you offensively, whatever you need, that's cool. But they're probably knowing that the way that their offense is ran, they only need one of those guys. Having 2 of them on the roster and paying 2 of them, because you're going to have to pay Puka here in shortly. So having both of those guys on the roster, you only need one of them. If I can get a 4th round pick, start getting some draft picks back
He's even
to help make
round?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so? 4th or 5th, yes. It's not. Cooper Kupp can ball, and he's only 31 years old.
He can only ball on certain teams now.
No, if he's healthy, which that has been the issue for the last few years, he still had 100 targets last year. Like, he's
not going to a young up-and-coming team.
I don't know where he's going to go.
He would be a great Buffalo Bill.
That would be
a nice
great
little add-on for Josh Allen.
And he would probably be the number 1 receiver in Buffalo.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of team I'm talking about.
And do you think Buffalo wouldn't trade a 4th or 5th round pick for a number 1 receiver?
Well, they had
Hell yes.
They had your guy.
Yeah,
Stephon Diggs.
And this guy is probably going to be better than what Stephon was.
Okay.
So the Bills would definitely, in my opinion, if I can get a number 1 receiver, he's better than Shakir. He's better than Keon Coleman. He's better than Amari Cooper was this year. Like, he's a better receiver than what the Buffalo Bills have on their roster right now. He would go in and be their number 1 guy. So I don't see why a team wouldn't offer a 4th or 5th round pick. And if you're the Rams, cool, because you were going to release him for what? Nothing? You're not keeping him around. You're not going to continue to pay him if you can trade him.
Release him?
I think they will.
I think if they can't trade him, yeah. They've already made.
I think that's the more likely scenario than them getting a 4th round pick.
Yeah. I don't think so. I think there's a team.
You have to factor in the salary too.
I think there's a team that will offer a 4th or 5th round pick for Cooper.
4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Or 6th.
4th
or 5th.
Or 5th.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you right now, Carey.
On the spot.
Is it a 4th or a 5th?
Carey.
Probably a 5th.
Oh, okay. Wow. Tomorrow it might be a 6th.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
There's that hill again.
I said 4th or 5th the entire time, man.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
No, we heard 5th.
Anthony, you brought up the Cardinals. I feel like with this situation, though, to me, it's a little bit different because the Rams know what they have in Puka Nacua, whereas when the Cardinals could have moved on from like Paul Goldschmidt or Nolan Arenado at the time, Like, they didn't know what they had. They still don't know what they have.
Yeah, I don't. Paul, yeah, you're right. I mean, Goldschmidt and Arenado
You're right,
are
There's
the
a bad comparison.
like that was the extreme examples. Well, I said the Cardinals. I didn't say those two guys.
See?
The outfield, though. How about the outfield?
But still, like,
You held on to Harrison Bader a long time. You
got
held
you
on.
now, Marshy.
Right now, you're holding on to Lars Nootbaar
You
for
held
dear
on to
life.
Tyler O'Neill.
He's
But
some sort of
what
Juan
did you
Soto.
have, though? What did you have?
You've got
We had
Jordan
9
Walker,
outfielders.
right, Carey?
You still don't know what you have.
I don't know. I don't like what you did
That's
there.
the problem. That's what I'm saying.
But like,
He's
what
just got a
I'm saying is,
slingshot of crap right in the face.
no player played well enough where you're like, oh my gosh, like we can definitely move on from these people. Like, we're
But-
still having those
But
questions.
neither of those people played
That's
well
what I'm
enough.
saying, though. Like, okay, so let's go back to everybody talks about the Randy Rosarina trade, right?
Yeah.
At the time, I remember going on the airwaves and saying this trade is as much about Tyler O'Neill and Harrison Bader as it is about Matthew Liberatore, because the Cardinals chose those two guys. So I agree with what you're saying in that you need to know what you have within the roster, the system, or whatever, just like the Rams feel comfortable moving on. So I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, except for one team has a proven guy, whereas the other
Marshy's right.
The other guys didn't,
The Rams
essentially.
currently have a superstar in Puka Nacua.
Sure.
When you traded to Rosarena, Tyler O'Neill was not a superstar. Harrison Bader was not a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Marshy's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm just saying I think it's easier
I'm
for
gonna
the
help,
Rams
I got you.
to do that because they know they have a guy that they can
Rosarina
rely on.
wasn't a
you're right.
superstar either. though.
Peacekeeper, Carey.
Like you just traded a guy that you didn't know. You didn't give him enough opportunity.
Carey's
That
right.
is, that is true, too.
Like Cooper Kupp has been a superstar
Yeah.
in this league, and probably again is still a
I think
number
we're
one.
really driving
gone-
into
have we
the
gone-
long grass here.
have we
with
gone
the
too far?
Let's just eliminate the
Carey,
Cardinals.
we haven't gone far enough.
I'm with you.
Let's just take the Cardinals out of this equation because nothing they do seems to really make sense, including this. Even this, they're screwing it up.
Jamie,
The Rams trading Cooper Kupp?
No,
somehow it's Mo's fault.
Mo's,
Thanks,
what are you
Mo.
doing, Mo?
go Mo.
Jamie, great sense out of you today.
I tried.
All right. Speaking of our guy Marshy, he's got what's trending next on 101 ESPN.
Elite Comfort Experts is a BBB Torch Award.
The real estate market here in St. Louis, let's be honest, it can be tricky. I know this. I just purchased a home, and there's a lot of things that are going on right now with the interest rates and pricing of homes and over list price. Don't worry about that stuff. Call Gloria Lou with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria understands the market, especially here in St. Louis and surrounding area. And it's very unique here in St. Louis. We all know that each zip code carries a different price range, and we've known that for years. But the trick is knowing what the best price is for your home while in your zip code. And that's where Gloria Lou comes in. She's been in the business for well over 20 years, and she understands where the market is headed right now. And that's a tricky thing to do. And if you're not experienced, you can mess things up, and you don't want that. You want to sell your home for the most money possible, get to the closing table, and be completely satisfied with what's happened. And that's where Gloria Lou comes in. She's going to get your home sold for the price that you want, and she's going to get you to that closing table, and you're going to be super happy about all of it. And all you have to do is give her a call. Give her a call. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you in. Her number's 314-325-6888. Again, that's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Oh, gentlemen, the Rams relocation settlement money hit a wall again today.
What?
The board
You don't
of
say.
aldermen. The Rams deal has collapsed, and the aldermen ultimately do nothing. How embarrassing is this for the city, and does it feel like the NFL has still won? And it's been, what, like 10 years now?
Yeah, so that money is still just sitting in an account? Is that what they're trying to tell us?
Collecting interest.
No, hang on, Carey. We don't know that for sure.
That's what they told us.
They might have put it in a damn savings account.
Not
the sharpest knives in the drawer, okay?
That'd be ridiculous.
Exactly. It would be on par.
Yeah.
So, that being said, the question again is that money still just sitting there?
I believe so. Where else would it be?
Carey?
I'm sorry, Jamie. You ask questions. I ask questions.
He's just
I don't know
asking.
where else would it be.
He's
I don't-
curious.
No, he's asking me a question on my question.
I hope it's still sitting there. How about that?
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, they may have spent some of it, Carey,
To
is
do
what I'm saying.
what?
I don't know.
Well,
There's
then-
potholes that got filled
Well, they
recently,
should've-
and yet maybe they paid for
What's
that.
the deal with the potholes, by the way? They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
You and I on
Man, there's
SoCo.
one.
Holy
Oh, my
smokes.
gosh. I thought my car was going to break down for the 100th time.
I will say this, though, Carey, no offense to the wonderful University of Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
But the moment
No offense.
we have to drive to the Cahokia Airport to take our flights with the Blues, the moment we cross into Illinois, the roads are awful. Like worse than here.
Really?
Yeah, trust me. It's like, and I'm driving a big old truck. And I'm like I'm like, whoa, geez, that's a bad one.
Why on the rumble strip?
Driving a little Honda Civic, probably be 2 tires blown.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the money's still sitting there, huh? What are they arguing about? What to use it for?
I gave a suggestion weeks ago.
What was it?
You give that money to school districts. Let me rephrase it, not to the school district, but you spend it you fund certain projects for schools, but you don't give it to the schools because I don't know if you know this, Jamie. Those people can find ways to spend money.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot about that recently.
Doesn't go towards
Not great.
the betterment of children. So for me, you find a way to pay teachers better salaries.
Okay.
Because they make not nearly enough money for the amount of work that they do for our children every single day. And I mean, listen. If you got to sit in the school with kids for 8 hours.
I love kids, Carey.
Yeah, sure. I love my own kids. 8 hours when we had to work from home, school from home. I love your kids too.
I love your kids.
But if you sit there for 8 hours doing school with your kids, your own damn kids, let alone somebody else's.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Teachers need to be paid
So I would
way
agree.
more.
I think that would be an easy fix. I also think that they talk about, what is it, like redoing the downtown, revitalizing downtown. You want to do that? Pay more police officers. Get them down there, walking around the streets 24 hours a day, while bringing businesses back to that area. Like you want to clean up things. People talk a good game when they're running for office. We're going to clean up downtown. We're going to bring the city back. But we're not going to do one damn thing different than we're currently doing. Do something different. And this is a good chunk of change that could help teachers, could help police officers, help revitalize downtown. And if you revitalize downtown, that's more economically, that helps your city because now you can draw people from the Illinois side as well, come there to your downtown because they don't really have a downtown where they're at. Like the eastern side of St. Louis or the Illinois, their best bet is coming to a Cardinals game, coming downtown, going to the Fox Theater, doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But people are avoiding it right now. And I'm not getting political, just for obvious reasons. It's not always the best place to be. So let's change that.
It sounds like they had a couple different plans. Money going towards the city, money going towards the north side, money going towards the aging water system. I feel like there's just so many different things that you could put this money towards, which is a problem because there's a lot of different problems going around.
Yeah. There's no shortage of areas that need to be upgraded that have been left behind.
And you're never going to satisfy everyone.
No.
So get that out of your mind. If you're in leadership, you cannot worry about what the few will say, because somebody's going to be pissed off that you didn't do what they wanted you to do. You didn't do this. Okay, cool. Sorry you feel that way. But we're going to do what is the consensus, what most people need to be done, whether it's roads, whether it's policing, whether it's funding for schools or teachers, whatever you find that thing to be. If you run your life trying to please everyone, you'll never get it done. So why even try?
I think that a big thing for this whole amount of money in the city of St. Louis is people in St. Louis are still pissed off about the Rams leaving. And they're really pissed off about the way it went down. And now they're not as pissed off as they were because they got a good chunk of change. But I think they want to see that money do something good. Not just be hidden in the shadows and all of a sudden the money starts disappearing and we're using it for this. The best thing St. Louis could do is create their own little committee and have like an online website that shows. This month, we took $30 million. It went to this, and delete it from the number, and people now have a visual of what's going on. It's really not that hard. In fact, spreadsheets are wonderful. Carey, you use them too.
I agree.
It's that simple. Put a friggin' spreadsheet on and show the public what the hell you're using the money for. What?
There's a key statement you just made.
What,
there.
to let people see what you're doing? But that's my point.
That's the transparency part.
I agree
Why
with
do
you.
you want to hide things?
I agree with you, Jamie.
Why do you want to hide things?
What I'm saying is they're not going to do that because they don't want to see you. They don't want you to see it.
Okay, but then they were always going to have this problem.
I know.
It's easy to be transparent with this. If you want to screw around in shadows, move money around other way, this is the easiest thing to be transparent about because it's such a public number here in St. Louis.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jamie.
You just want to hide
Somebody
things.
needs to, you know what, I might go into politics.
Rivers.
What?
I might go into politics.
I'll vote for you,
I
Carey.
think you would. Yep.
I would.
I will too.
I'm
Do I
not
get a
going.
job?
Well, yeah. But you got to work. I can't.
Yeah, but you're going to completely overpay me, right?
No, because that goes against what I'm
That's
talking about.
politics, no. I'm not voting for you now.
See?
Anthony, you run it. You
Thank
got my
you.
vote.
Yep.
If you care about your city, vote Carey Davis.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Carey Davis.
You could put that money down in a facility in Jupiter.
Well.
Got him.
My BCA's almost came out of my nostrils there. Oh, I'll be picking BCA boogers the rest of the day now.
Waterboy, I really wish Jamie and Anthony would agree on something.
Just that.
We do. Yeah. Ish.
Kind of. You should see him during the break.
Alderman Jamie and Alderman Anthony.
Oh, boy.
I'll take the job. You give me the damn job.
Yeah, we'll do a great job.
Imagine me in politics. Seriously. Let's go, baby.
You do great.
Let's go.
You would do great.
You would be punching. You would last one day in office of
Why?
whatever. Because the first person that said something out of the way, you'd be. You know what? Nah, I'm sick of it.
No.
Yes, you would.
No, because Tony Twist is my running mate.
He handles all of that.
All of a sudden, somebody trips in the parking lot. It's not my fault, Carey.
Didn't see it.
He fell down many flights of steps.
Hard.
Yeah.
He was running fast.
And then ran into a rock several times. Yeah.
No, he tripped me. No, you tripped yourself.
Learn how to walk, buddy.
Yep.
All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. What does this Blues roster need to look like in order to be a competitive team again? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, back with you. And Anthony, it was a great day today. I got to see our guy Stewie. He stopped by the office. Yeah, you weren't here. You were a little late. That's fine. Things happen. But I got to see our guy Stewie today. And what I love about Stewie is he always has a great story for us. So welcome aboard, Stewie, from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, why don't you tell us what you were telling me earlier today?
All right, Jamie and Anthony. In Scotland, when you pay off your mortgage, there's a custom to paint the door red. In the United States, they burn a mortgage. Now, part of what we do is life planning. It's not just a one-time transaction. We had an ESPN listener 8 years ago, came to us, 650 credit score, a bunch of credit card debt. We consolidated it for them. They had 25 years left on their mortgage, gave them a low payment, but instead of making the low payment, they went ahead and kept paying every month what they were already paying with the credit card debt total. Guess what? 2 weeks ago, they paid off their mortgage completely, got everything paid off in 8 years, painted the doors red, invited me for the barbecue, and we celebrated. So whether you're looking for the better cash flow or get yourself in a better financial position, you got to look long-term. You got to get the right advice and somebody that's going to care about your life on the long-term basis. We got it done with them, had a great celebration. They burned their mortgage, and they painted the door red.
Jamie, I can imagine that when you finally own your home, everything feels a little different. The ground feels a little different.
Paint the whole thing red, Anthony.
Yeah, darn right. Hey, it's yours. And it could be yours if you call Stewie. Put yourself in a better spot financially. Stewie's our guy. Should be your guy as well. That phone number that he gives out, it's a personal cell phone number, 314-324-4440.
Easy to remember, 314-324-4440.
And Jamie, if you missed that number, what can you do?
Google the Bagelo.
Thanks, Stewie.
Have a great day, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
.306, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jeweler. Officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh and Anthony Stalter. What does this Blues roster need to look like in order to be competitive again? From a roster standpoint, we know the things that Coach Jim Montgomery's talked about from a grit standpoint, from believing that you can win games even when you're trailing. Not having kind of what I would call the Gumby shoulders when things don't go well. You know, you kind of droop down.
Does Gumby have shoulders?
Yeah, yeah, Gumby's got shoulders.
Gumby was a straight, and the arms coming out the side of him.
No, he had shoulders.
Bull. Listen, I know what you're trying to say. I'm not trying
We'll look it up. But I'm pretty sure he does.
you know what?
Doesn't
Does he
have
not?
shoulders.
He does not have shoulders.
Oh,
He's just
no.
got arms coming
Yeah.
straight out of the side.
I just want to make sure you're right, Anthony.
Clearly I'm not.
He doesn't have shoulders.
Pick another character.
Gumby shoulders.
He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any.
He doesn't. My God, they're just arms.
Coming out of his body.
Which is, I don't know what that is.
Who made that?
Okay, so.
He's got nothing going for him.
Nothing.
Oh, he's obviously does. He's famous.
Yeah. He's kind of
Won't be
slinky.
for long with those arms.
He's tapered off a little bit, but I heard there's a big social media push coming.
Probably. Maybe not.
Push to make Gumby more relevant. Anyway,
Yeah.
with the new young players that are supposed to be coming in,
Yeah.
we've heard.
So what do you want the Blues roster to look like?
Well, here's the thing, right? The roster, what it looks like right now, you've talked about this. It has become bigger, more physical. It has become, that oak tree mindset, like Vegas is, like we're trying to get more physical, more grit, all that. But a lot of these young players, do they fit that? Do they fit that mold?
Yeah.
And if not, is that okay? Because you get a balance. And ultimately then, combined with the young guys that are going to be coming up, what do you need if you're the Blues roster to be competitive?
Okay. So from a roster standpoint, this is interesting. Let's go back. Who won the Stanley Cup last year?
That would be the Florida Panthers.
Okay. Their roster, they bullied their way to a Stanley Cup championship. They had great talent in Barkov, Tkachuk, Bobrovsky, all of it, but they bullied their way to a cup. Who won it the year before?
That would be the Colorado Avalanche.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights.
The Las Vegas Golden Knights
That's what he
was after the Colorado Avalanche.
And they bullied their way to a Stanley Cup championship. Your 18-19 Stanley Cup champion Blues, they bullied their way to a See something in common happen here?
I would say the fact that they bullied their way to a Stanley Cup.
And even the Avalanche, as talented as they were, they're also huge. That roster was huge. Nathan McKinnon is 6'2" himself. Mikko Rantanen, 6'4", 6'5". Like Gabriel Landeskog, 6'2", 6'3". All your most talented guys were big. And they bullied and talented their way to a Stanley Cup championship. So if we isolate the Blues roster right now, what are they? They're not bullying their way anywhere.
No.
And they're not talenting or outscoring or dynamicing. All these words, I don't know if they exist, but they seem right
But
for
you
right
put
now.
them together, and it's fine.
Thank
You
you.
know, the
Go
fast
with
lane
it.
will make it happen.
Yeah.
No, they've kind of got their toe in a bunch of different areas. They're not
Ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's.
They get sporadic talent. They get sporadic grit. They get it's not.
I would agree.
Yeah.
So name 3 tough guys on the Blues right now.
Braden Shen.
Yes, I would agree.
Nathan Walker.
Okay.
And
Tyler Tucker.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of those 3?
They're all tough,
do
but
they scare you? Like, are you lying awake on game day worried about any of those 3?
no.
Okay.
No.
No disrespect to them at all. They're also very good players. So that's besides the point of what I'm trying to make here. My point is, let's add Otto Stenberg. That's Jacob Stansel, Dvorsky, Snuggerud, Lindstein. What are you adding?
Talent.
But what is winning Stanley Cups right now?
Bullying.
Bullying plus talent. So Doug Armstrong's focus now, moving forward, has got to be, how can I surround my talent with talented bullies? Because Matthew Tkachuk is a talented bully. Barkov, although he's not a physical guy, he's huge. Can't move him. Talented bully. Sam Bennett is a talented bully. These guys are all good players, but they can also smash your face into pieces if they want to.
I like that.
I do too. But you're not getting that with the guys I just listed. You're not getting it with Thomas. You're not getting it with Kyrou. That's 7 players right there. Bolduc, you're not really getting that. Neighbors, not getting that. He's gritty. He's tough. And I'm not taking away that.
I got you.
I'm saying teams are not afraid to play those guys. So now we're 10 players deep on a roster. That's half your roster as far as who you could put in the lineup.
Right.
Okay? That's half your roster. And you've yet to come across a bully. So Army's job is to go fill the rest of the rosters with like the Trent Fredericks of the world, the Sam Bennett's, the Pat Maroons, like that style of player that can play and be physical and keep the puck down low, protect the puck, those things. Because I think the blue line's actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
You look at Broberg and Parayko, those are oak trees. They don't have to body anybody. They can play solid defense. It's fine. You got Cam Fowler. He's here at least for this year, next year. Great player. Justin Falk, bit of an up and down season this year, but overall you're fine. He plays physical. You're not worried. Suter will be retired probably after this year. Nick Leddy, and you got Tyler Tucker back there. Mm-hmm. You got Kessel, who's a big kid too. So you've got some size that's down there. Not worried about the blue line. Not worried about the goaltending. Overall, from a roster construction standpoint, though, are you going to over-talent your roster and under-grit the roster? And Monty's talking about grit, talking about all kinds of different grit, by the way, not just physical toughness, just mental toughness and compete and all that stuff. But are you going to be too talented to play when it comes playoff time? Look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. Look at the Tampa Bay Lightning before. Mm-hmm. The Tampa Bay Lightning, that was the best team in the league, got eliminated in 4 games by the Columbus Blue Jackets. And what did their GM do?
Added Pat Maroon.
Zach Bogosian, McDonough, Nick Paul, all guys that were gritty. Mm-hmm. Why?
Yeah.
Because you need it.
Right. I mean, you could even say the Oilers, too, last year.
Well, the Oilers
needed that.
They did. They Ekholm on defense. They added, Evander Kane was a guy. Corey Perry, they went and got him. Like, they got some grit. Mm-hmm. Now, they're also very fortunate. They have 2 of the best players in the entire universe.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? So the Blues, from a roster construction standpoint, from now until when all those young guys are relevant, have to find a way to get some bullies in their lineup.
You know, I think Army did a great job this offseason of getting Holloway and Broberg. And you were asking, Anthony, what could they use or what could they get? And I don't think Army should have stopped. Like, there's a few players, Kale McCarr, for example. Connor McDavid, we've talked about him, how spectacular he is.
Nathan
McKinnon. A young superstar on the up-and-coming, Macklin Celebrini, one of your favorite players. And then to round it off, one of the Tkachuk brothers. You pick one. Now, whichever one you like most, whichever one you don't want, you let the other one go. But just one. Yeah, you might be being greedy if you're trying to get both, but one or the other, right? So if you are able to get those 4, that's what they need. I think we
should be easy, Carey.
It's done.
And when we're done with that, we'll go get McDavid, Draisaitl, Matthews, and McKinnon.
Well, if I may, Carey has invested mentally and physically so much into the Dodgers that this is where his mind goes now.
I think
if you just want a great player,
you buy him.
Just buy him.
Pay for it.
Well, the cap's going up.
There you go. Who says no?
I don't say no.
There you go.
Carey, I think it's a great idea.
Carey, you bring up, the Tkachuks, and, obviously there was chatter about Matthew Tkachuk potentially coming to St. Louis. That did not work out, but there has also been chatter of bringing in Brady Tkachuk, and we've had the conversation of who would you give up to get a Brady Tkachuk. And now I'm thinking, like, we've had conversations about this core. Like, are some of these guys still locked in to be Blues? Like, are you more open to sending multiple players to get a guy like that to change things?
If one of the Tkachuks becomes available, you pretty much give them whatever they want for him. At this point. You go 5 years from now, you'd be like, ooh, that's a lot of wear and tear on big old Brady. How is his knees, his back, his shoulder? Like, who knows, right? The David Backes effect could happen to a player like Brady Tkachuk. I think it's less likely to happen to Matthew because he plays a less physical game. He's not afraid to be physical, but it's less physical. So if the question is right now, today, like this offseason, what I would give up, almost anything.
What about Colton Parayko?
Almost anything.
There you go.
Colton Parayko's a tough one because there are no other Colton Paraykos. There are no other Brady Tkachuks. So then you have to decide internally, what do we have to replace it? Do you have somebody good enough to replace Colton Parayko? One would think that Philip Broberg's going to get there. Okay? But you still need 2 defensemen at the top of the food chain on the back end. Who's that second guy? Lindstein. Maybe he's the guy to come in and be the Philip Broberg, who now is the Colton Parayko. It's dangerous. We tried this with Alex Pietrangelo. Colton Parayko's the next. He's the alpha dog. He wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And he is now, but he's still not Pietrangelo.
Mm-hmm.
It's close. It's closer now than it's ever been. So from a roster construction standpoint, if you can find a guy, maybe you get the off-brand Brady Tkachuk, whoever that is, who's scoring 30 goals a year, getting you 110 penalty minutes a year. The off-brand.
I'm kind of over the off-brand, though.
But off-brand is still you're not understanding.
You're not understanding, Marsh.
Maybe I'm thinking like Cardinals off-brand.
No. I'm talking like maybe off-brand. How about the next tier?
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like the who's a good example right now that like a Tom Wilson. Even Tom Wilson puts up 25, 30 goals a year, runs guys through the boards. He would look really good in a blue note.
Mm-hmm.
You look at guys, Trent Frederick, I like him. Now, he's not a tier down. He's 2 tiers down from Brady Tkachuk, but still scored 16 goals last year. He would play more here. He'd be your net front presence on the power play, probably get you 20 goals a year, get you 10, 12 fights a year. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You have to start adding those types of players to this pool of talent. It's just my thoughts, guys.
That's Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. We're going to play Are You Sold next. Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. You have any Are You Sold statements that you want to send them in now. We'll play Are You Sold next on 101 ESPN.
here to the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter.
Hey, buddy.
Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers here. It's time for Are You Sold? Marshy.
All right, let's go to the Air Comfort Service text line. Grant Francis Fan Club. Are you sold that Nick Leddy gets more undeserved hate than any other current St. Louis athlete?
What? No, absolutely not. Let's pick your Cardinal now.
Pick a Cardinal. Cardinal.
Or Jordan Cairo.
Not
it's
this
kind of
year.
shifted.
Colton Borrego.
Not this
in the
year.
past.
Shifted as well.
In the past, yes. What did you say?
Shifted.
Oh, okay.
Jordan Bennington.
Jordan Bennington is another one. Yeah.
There's an
Torrey Krug, although he's been injured this year.
What Cardinal gets undeserved hate?
Undeserved?
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado got a lot. Is that undeserved? I think Jordan Walker got his fair share.
Well, I don't think anybody hates the Walk Show.
You don't check the text line, do you?
Apparently not.
No. All right. Wilson Contreras got a lot of hate from his teammates 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Those guys hated
Mostly
him.
the pitchers.
Yeah.
Because they stink and they blamed him.
Who else?
I can't locate. That's your fault.
Nah. Don't tell me to throw it in the dirt. I want to throw it right over the heart of the plate.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, you got to throw strikes, right?
Yeah, you do. There's a strike zone.
Well,
The corners don't exist, Anthony.
Yeah.
The black of the plate is off limits to Cardinals pitching.
Ali Marmol. He gets more hate than any other
I could see that.
St. Louis player, coach, manager.
That's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he can only do so much, which is where the undeserved part comes in. Not that he's not culpable, not that he's not at fault for things. It's just the undeserved part comes in where it's like, hey, my team's not good. It's your fault.
I don't think he's culpable for players not swinging bats properly.
No, but he's culpable for
Jordan Hicks airmailing
having Jordan Walker in like right field and stuff.
Well, that's not, that's kind of how the thing is set up, Anthony.
All right.
You need to know these things. You're in St. Louis media.
My bad.
You should know everything. Shame on you.
You know you're on the air, right? You do sports radio.
You don't know
Why don't you know everything?
I actually got asked that.
Stupid mother fast lane.
I got asked that the other day. Not that. I forget the question now. It was such a question. It was off the beaten path about some random baseball. It wasn't even Cardinals. It was like, I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you're on the radio 4 hours a day.
I love that.
And I'm like, you're right.
I love that.
I'll do better.
Yeah.
I walked away. I'll do better.
You're out in public. Somebody's, yeah. Hey,
what are the Padres' 34th round pick?
Who?
What? He looks promising.
That guy.
Yeah, he's dead. Okay, well, all right. I guess he doesn't look promising.
Good times, man.
Well, then cross him off then. All right. Hey, Jamie, I want you to introduce our next guest because you have the personal relationship with him. We're fired up to talk to him.
Yeah, this is awesome. Coming up next here on our Callier and Thompson phone line, we're going to be joined by Derek Stevens. Now, he's not a sports guy. He's not an athlete or a manager. He loves sports, though, and he owns the Circa Sports Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. I talk about the Circa Sports app all the time. Well, Derek has created the world's largest sports book. We're going to ask him all about that, the process, and he's got some other stuff coming up here for the big game on Sunday. So Derek Stevens coming up next. Are you tired of looking at your vehicle in its current state? Do you think to yourself, man, I love my vehicle, but I wish I could do something different to it to make it look sharp? Let me help you out. Head over to Pure Performance. They are your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications. So whatever vehicle you're driving around in, a Jeep, a Bronco, SUV, pickup truck, a car, even minivans, Pure Performance has you covered with anything you're looking for, whether it's the lift kit, leveling kits, the oversized tires, the running boards. They even have under the hood performance chips. Anything you want, they've got you covered. And it's all located in St. Peter's, right off of Highway 70, 25,000 square foot showroom that has all of these toys available. Just walk in, ask for Shelby or Caleb, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in, and they're going to ask you what you're looking to do. First of all, they're going to say what kind of vehicle are you driving, then they're going to ask you what you're looking to do, and then, of course, what's your budget? And I'll tell you something about Pure Performance. If you give them a budget, not only do they find things for your budget, they maximize it for you. They want you completely satisfied and want you coming back for more, your family, your friends, whatever it is. So please head over to Pure Performance. You will absolutely love it. But if you can't get there in person, it's really easy to get there online. Visit them at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Your St. Louis Blues take on the Edmonton Oilers tonight, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. Nick Leddy is back in the lineup for the Blues as they take on the Edmonton Oilers. Coming up next, we will be joined by Derek Stevens of Circa Sports, and we'll discuss all the things that Circa has to offer as we get set for the big game on Sunday. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Put your hands up.
Welcome back here to the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers here, Anthony Stalter, along with Super Bowl champion Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. We head out to the Collier and Thompson phone line to be joined by one of my good buddies, Derek Stevens, who owns the Circa Las Vegas Casino, amongst other ones, and also started up the Circa Sports Illinois app. Derek, how are we doing today, bud?
All good. Good to talk to you guys.
I know. Hey, I never got to see you before I left. That one day we had all the Super Bowl game or the playoff games going. But thanks a lot for a great time over at Circa Sports. It's just an awesome spot.
Man, it was great hanging out with you. We had a lot of football, and God, I thought I met half of the St. Louis executives from all sports hanging out with you. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. They were blown away, and I think that's the main thing that happens when people go into Circa. It's a beautiful casino, but the sports book is amazing. I remember talking to you about this like years ago. We were at the D in Las Vegas, another casino that you own, and you were telling me and my brother about your vision for Circa Sports and to have the world's largest sports book. How did that all come about? How did it happen? Because it's not an overnight thing.
Well, when we were designing Circa Las Vegas, we knew that we wanted to be sports forward, and we wanted to be known as the most sports orientated casino resort in Vegas. And we were designing this well before sports gambling became legal in all these other states. And then when that happened, right as we opened, we thought this was going to be terrific. So we just wanted to have the most sports-orientated casino resort in Vegas, and it all kind of came together.
All right, Derek, so a lot of listeners obviously are wondering about the big game on Sunday. My question to you, and you don't know, obviously, but you're constantly monitoring this, but the Chiefs are favored. Any chance that line jumps the fence and we see the Eagles as the favorite by kickoff?
I think that's a legit opinion. Actually, we opened 1.5. There were a couple of places that opened at 2. It's universally down to a 1 right now. I would not be surprised if by, let's say, Thursday we're at Pick'em. And I could just tell you that we are seeing more Eagle money than we are seeing Chiefs money at this point.
Very smart people, Derek. Derek, I was wondering, when you have a drastic shift in the line, say it goes a football game from like 5 points to 13 points, a shift in that manner, what causes that shift to happen so drastically?
Well, I think, a lot of people went in thinking that the Eagles might be favored, and when we posted the Chiefs as the favorite, I think a few people were taken aback. I think right now everybody's really just trying to get a good read. We don't expect any significant injuries. Everybody's saying all the right things at the media days. So now everybody's just trying to get a read on who's hungrier. And I do think we're going to continue to see Eagles money come in over the next 72 hours or so.
All right, Derek. So, look, the line and all that stuff's very interesting. But for a guy like me, you know me, I like to have a few beers while I'm watching these games. And the prop bets are always fun. What are some of the fun prop bets that you know of that are out there right now for everybody?
Well, I will tell you a couple. One, the Chiefs' number of sacks was 2.5. That opened as an underdog, plus 270. That's been the number one wagered prop bet at Circa Sports. Now its Chiefs are only plus 160 over 2.5 sacks. So that's been number one. Then I would say, a fun bet that people love. Will there be a 2-point conversion? Everybody's betting yes on that. Will there be a safety? Everybody's betting yes on that. And then I think probably the most fun thing you can think about is jumping into what we call Circa Squares. That's where, everybody knows, how you can go to a Super Bowl party and you have squares and you buy in, and then you randomly have a couple numbers that come out. So it's the last digit of each team for your square. At Circa Squares, you can pick the last numbers of each team. So if you like 3 and 3, if you like 3 and 0, if you like 7 and 0, there's odds on every combination. So if you like Chiefs 7 and the Eagles, let's say a 4 for 14, 24, 34, you could go on the Circa Sports Illinois app, and you could pick the exact numbers that you want. Now, obviously, when you start picking numbers like 5s and things like that, the odds go up. But this way, you get the actual numbers you want for squares. So that's probably the most popular thing on Circa Sports Illinois.
That's interesting. Derek, since we're talking about props, when it comes to player props, I know that the trend is to, hey, let's take the over because you don't want to sit there and root against a certain player. But when it comes to a specific player that you guys are seeing action on, outside of the quarterbacks, who is it?
Well, I think you're going to see, the house is going to need anything with Travis Kelce under. I can tell you that. It doesn't matter. Receptions, targets, touchdowns, the whole deal. We're going to want Travis Kelce under. I can tell you that. So I would say that's probably where you're going to see the most on the Chiefs side. On the Eagles side, everybody's taking anything with Saquon Barkley over.
All right, Derek, this might be a dumb question, but I'm not afraid to ask it. Are there any Vegas casinos or any apps out there that have any kind of a Taylor Swift over-under moments on camera?
No, they do not. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it.
Is it just because it's so unpredictable?
No, nothing to do with that. Taylor Swift is not legal. So you have to be able to be a legal sports book, you have to have a governing body, and you have to have a real league and an official statistic. There's nothing about Taylor Swift that provides an official statistic of anything. Not the number of times she's on camera, not how many times she kisses Travis Kelce after the game, not whether she gets proposed to, not anything like that could be manipulated. So anything with Taylor Swift is just for entertainment purposes only, or you could bet it illegally, I guess. But entertainment purposes only.
Now, Derek, I saw that you went to the University of Michigan, and I got to ask you being a sports fan, how did you feel about Ohio State winning the national championship this year?
Well, I'll tell you what. I went to Michigan, but I might be a different kind of Michigan fan. I'm a Midwest fan. I'm a Big Ten fan. So
me too. I
was rooting for Ohio State this year. I was rooting for Michigan last year. Obviously, it had a great year. But I'm at Circa Las Vegas. We're really the home of the Big Ten out here. So I'm a Big Ten fan, and I was rooting for Ohio State to pull it off.
Well, Derek, I definitely got to visit you. I went to Illinois, and I get a lot of crap around these parts because I am a Big Ten fella, and they kind of treat me badly. Not the guys here, but a lot of fans that listen to us. They treat me poorly around here.
Yeah, no. We like Fighting Illini. We like Boilermakers around here. Hoosiers, Buckeyes, Spartans, Wolverines, the whole deal. So, but now we got a few more Big Ten fans out here. They're also from USC and UCLA.
There you go.
The pride of the Midwest.
Yeah.
All right, Derek. So people here in St. Louis, obviously, I've said it. I say it every time I talk about your casino to visit you in Las Vegas. But I've also talked a lot about the new Circa Sports Illinois app. What should our listeners know about the app, whether it's something to do with downloading it or using it, or even somewhere they can use it over in Illinois? What should they know?
Yeah, I'd say the key thing is what differentiates Circa Sports in Illinois, and really for us, it's the fact that we take big bets and that we don't limit people. So. We're gonna take a big bet. You're not gonna get limited down to $5 or $10. I'm a big proponent of your listeners to have multiple apps on your phone. Every sports book's a little bit different. To be able to get the best line, that's really important. We do a lot of comparison shopping when we're going to go buy something online, or if we're looking at a car or a house. We do a lot of that. It's just as important to do that when you're betting on sports, because one book might have the Eagles at -2, another one will have them -1. It may or may not make a difference in the wager you play today, but it'll make a big difference in your wallet as time goes by. So I think Circa Sports is one of the Sportsbooks that ought to be on everybody's phone. And like I said, it'll give you another way to look at, where our numbers are. I mean, we're really the sports book where a lot of the pros play, so a lot of people follow our number. So I think it'd be real worthwhile to have Circa Sports Illinois downloaded on your phones.
Yeah, I do, and I absolutely love using it very much, buddy. And I appreciate you coming on here today with us to explain some things, talk some gambling, talk some football. It's always a pleasure getting to talk to you either way, but this time a little more of a professional version of it. So, Derek, thanks a lot, buddy.
All right, great to talk to you. I'll see you guys in St. Louis, or I'll see you back in Vegas, one of the two. Not too far down the road.
You'll see me in May in Vegas, buddy.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot, Derek. Take care.
See ya.
All right, there you go, Derek Stevens, Jamie's buddy. Now you had known him back in Detroit.
Yeah, he's from Detroit, big Red Wings fan. And if you've ever been to the D Casino in Las Vegas, that's what it's named after. The D, like Detroit. It's all Detroit themed inside, whatnot. Derek's just a really interesting dude, man. He did not start in the world of casinos and gambling. He had a whole other business that afforded him the chance to buy into some of this stuff. And then he has taken over Fremont Street, like that old Vegas down there, which had been run down for quite a while. Derek has got it revitalized, man. And Circa is the only resort on Fremont Street. It's got the stadium swim, which if you want to Google that, check it out. You can be in this massive day party, pool party, and got the sports book outside too, so you watch all the games and things. He's really left no stone unturned, and he's a fun dude, man. He's always looking to do something different.
That's Jamie Rivers. Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter. It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. One of the players that everybody knows is driven me crazy.
It's overrated, Carey.
The golf button is unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's too far.
I'm shaking my drink. It's too far.
I did that yesterday, too.
I don't care.
Clearly.
You think somebody driving around isn't coughing right now? Am I offended?
No, we're all, we can't hear them.
How do you know?
I know I can't hear them in their
just
car
heard me?
coughing. Because you're sitting right next to me, man. I love how you try to explain it away. Sorry, you were saying.
Anyway, one of the football players that has often drove me crazy, well, he just got smart. Tell you who it is. Next on 101 ESPN.
All right, you just heard us talking to Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa Las Vegas. So many awesome things going on out there, and they've got the Circa Squares, and Derek just talked about it with us a couple minutes ago, and it's just like the Super Bowl squares that you'd ordinarily buy at a party or put your money down, except you can pick your own numbers. So if it's a 4 and a 0 that you're wanting, you can pick that and play that bet, and there's odds on every combination of numbers that you decide to pick. It's really a fun thing to get into, especially on big old Sunday with the big game happening, and they've got so much more going on over at Circa Sports Illinois, the app. They've got the tight money line splits, of course, great lines on all their futures bets, and they've got the best odds. Derek just talked about, hey, download several apps. Make sure you're price shopping, and he's confident that Circa Sports is going to have the best odds and the best payouts, and that's really what matters, and it's a lot of fun, too. It doesn't have to be serious. It's just a lot of fun. Get on there, enjoy it. It's super easy to use, easy to download. You absolutely will love using Circa Sports. Again, don't miss out. Download it, bet like a pro on your Circa Sports Illinois app, and make sure you're joining in on all of the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
guys know how I feel about Kirk Chains. Kirk Cousins.
What?
The favorite quarterback of all time?
The man who has had a lot of photos of various front offices.
Oh, wow.
Minnesota.
What do you mean by that?
Atlanta. So he's always in a perfect spot to get massive contracts, not based on how he's played, but the information and the leverage that he has.
Anthony, he's had good numbers.
He's had really good regular season numbers. Absolutely.
Well, that's all that mattered this year.
Now, he stunk this year, and you know what? 2 games he had. But I'll give Kirk Chains this, boys. What he did last night or earlier today when he was talking, well, I guess it was this morning, to NFL Network's Good Morning Show. What he did today, absolutely brilliant. Kirk Cousins says, I, against the Saints, got hit pretty good in my right shoulder and elbow. And from there, of dealing with that was something I was working through and just never really could get to where I wanted it, Cousins said. He says, even if the right ankle wasn't perfect, nobody's perfect in this league. We're never feeling at 100%. So really didn't affect me that much in terms of the ankle. But that shoulder was the problem.
That interception throwing shoulder.
Wasn't his eyeballs.
No.
It was the old shoulder. Very smart from Kirk Chains, who obviously wants to continue to play, even though he can't anymore. And he knows the Falcons have found their future quarterback in Michael Penix.
So what is him saying his shoulder was banged up do? What does that mean?
Entices other teams.
To do what?
Bring him on.
He was hurt.
No.
Jamie's right. He was hurt.
That would be less of a reason for other teams to bring him on.
He was hurt. He played through it. The guy's a warrior.
Now.
Did you not see him dragging his leg around where he couldn't even get under center to run outside zone? They had to put him in the pistol with the running back lined up right behind him.
I'm sorry. Did you not see Gladiator?
I did see
Gladiator. That movie was basically about a future Kirk Cousins.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Nah, maybe Achilles. Maybe that movie.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Is that the movie with Brad Pitt? What was the name of it?
Troy.
Troy. Yeah, Troy.
Nobody was named Troy.
It was Achilles.
Troy Aikman?
It was Troy Aikman. It was about Troy Aikman.
Super Bowl winning quarterback?
That's right. Yeah. No, anyways, Carey, this is perfect. So he'll get to another team now.
Maybe.
Other teams will line up to have him.
How much does he do next year?
A lot.
Yeah, probably not.
Anthony, I heard just rumblings. You know, I'm kind of, I wouldn't say I'm locked in on off-season Minnesota Viking talk, but there were some, conversations being had to potentially bring back Kirk Cousins on a cheap deal.
Why wouldn't you?
But have him be the backup.
No. He didn't want to go to Minnesota to be a backup.
To who?
He's a starter.
J.J. McCarthy.
No.
So when I heard you talk about him saying his shoulder was hurt, to me it sounds like that's a way for the Falcons not to be able to release him or trade him without giving him all of his money.
No.
Because if I'm hurt, you're going to have to pay me some money. Like you can't just, I'm still due money.
Carey, you're missing this. The man, the only reason why he stunk last year
that's not the
is
reason,
because
Anthony.
he was hurt.
Anthony,
now that he's healthy, he's perfect for the Raiders or the Giants or the Jets. Basically, any team not named the Buffalo Bills in the greater New York, New Jersey area.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I disagree.
Why are you doing this?
I just don't think he's.
Why are you doing this?
I don't think that his shoulder or this mysterious injury that he's speaking about. You know how many people are hurt, Anthony, throughout the season? He said it. Nobody's 100%. Did you play? Nobody cares. That's how it goes down. That's that's how it goes. Did you play? Yeah. Were you hurt? Yeah. So what? Nobody cares. Did you get the job done?
No.
Sure.
Well, I guess
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2 times.
The eventual
8,000 yards.
NFC South Division champion.
There you go. So that means he's good enough to be good enough, right? He's good enough to get it done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Max Crosby, straight up.
Yeah, no, I don't think that'll happen ever.
The Raiders need a quarterback. Falcons need a defensive end.
Yeah, they're not gonna trade him straight up.
Jamie, your thoughts?
Kirk Cousins for Max Crosby?
Yeah.
Max Crosby, rather? I mean, it's a hell of an
It
offer.
could be Matt Crosby.
It could be bit. Never mind.
All right, I think they want
Might
that.
have a better offer looking for Sidney Crosby.
Never mind.
I think maybe Mason Crosby, is that his name?
He just retired.
Yeah, exactly.
The Packers kicker, he just retired.
Straight up. There you go.
No, guys, he filed the paper. It's done. He's not available.
No, I think
now.
it'd be a good
That's a
deal.
good trade.
Who's not available?
You know what? You guys didn't take this serious. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
All right, Anthony. I'm going to be 50 in March here. Coming
Wow.
up. Yeah, the big 5-0. Yep. Well, I started feeling crappy about 40. Didn't know why. I thought, just old injuries, things that happen and whatnot. Just father time, right?
So you called it a day. You're like, that's just the way it is.
Kind of mailed it in, not going to lie. And then I started feeling terrible, even worse, and I was kind of depressed about it all until I was able to step into Mentality. And our guy, BT, told me all about it. Said, hey, get over to Mentality, check it out. Finally, I did. Went in there, they ran a full blood test on me, and I found out that I was deficient in certain vitamins and testosterone. And they said, this is the source of all your problems. And ever since I've been on a program that's been specifically designed for me, life has changed. I love it. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. I love working out. I used to hate it. I love working out. I love the results. I got more energy than ever. I'm just a happier guy all around.
You're driven. You're focused. You got plenty of energy now. I know, because I feel the same way, right? So BT told you, you told me, and now we're telling everybody listening right now. If you're a man, you're dragging constantly, but you don't want to. Right? Like for Jamie and I were like, no, this isn't.
Can't afford it.
This isn't the way we need. I mean, Jamie, multiple jobs, me, multiple jobs. You want to make sure that you're at your best constantly. Mentality helps with that. So like Jamie said, the specific program for you, I was also low in testosterone and other vitamins. And after you're on the program, first of all, it works. Second of all, you feel it, right? Like you feel the difference when you go throughout an entire weekend and you're like, yeah, I got a lot done, got a lot accomplished, and I'm ready for Monday's workday too. So stop dragging, stop feeling at your worst and just chalking it up to old age, and actually go down to one of the 2 locations, one in South County, one in Chesterfield. Talk to the board certified specialists that are down there, the board certified physicians at Mentality, and you're going to feel the difference.
Yeah, it's covered by most insurances too, which is always great. And the people there are fantastic. You're going to love going there. Please stop by. Mention Anthony and Jamie. They're going to take great care of you. And you can always visit them at lowtusa.com.
warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
402, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, and we welcome in Wes to the program. What's up, Wes?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Appreciate you listening. Thank you for playing. Would you like to take on Marsh, CD, Jamie, or me today?
Well, since nice guys always lose to Marsh, Marsh, why don't you go pack a fast lane lunch?
Oh,
Wes coming in hot.
He's not a nice guy.
No, hang on. But is Wes really not a nice guy?
Let's find out.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
Over the next 10 minutes, we're going to find out whether or not Wes truly is a nice guy or a jerk. Because Marsh only beats nice guys in the gauntlet.
And either way, we love you, Wes.
Yeah, no, yeah. You know, Wes, we like you for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel, and then we'll kick him out.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, here we go. Marsh, get the hell out of here. Wes, what do you want?
Not hockey because it's Marsh.
Sure.
Well, it's
So
not.
I'm going to get hockey.
No,
it's
you're
not,
lucky.
yeah.
What would be your favorite thing?
Yeah, good question.
Baseball.
Oh,
Guess what,
wow.
Wes? You got baseball.
That never happens.
I
No,
know.
it doesn't. I don't know what the wheel's up to.
Well, but the wheel's trying to figure out right now if Wes is a jerk or not, too.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So for the wheel, it's more important to figure out whether or not Wes is a jerk.
Yeah, and give
in
him his
order to do so-
category.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
All right, Wes, you're going to get 4 baseball-related questions. Marsh will receive those same 4 baseball questions. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Go for it.
How many teams play in the Grapefruit League during spring training?
15.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right, Wes, question 2. Last March 28th, Victor Scott II went 0 for 3 and stole a base in his MLB debut for the Cardinals. Where did Victor Scott II hit in Ollie Marmol's lineup that afternoon?
9th final.
Cute.
Question number 3. Despite leading the National League in runs scored, homers, and RBIs, Albert Pujols missed a 3rd straight MVP in 2010. Who took home the hardware that season?
2010. So, I want to say McCutcheon. Or was that Votto? Or am I going to get the options here? Let's be safe. Options.
Is it Joey Votto, Troy Tulowitzki, or Ryan Braun?
Votto, final.
All right, Wes, final question. Former Redbird Dylan Carlson is now a member of the Baltimore Orioles. When did St. Louis pick Carlson in the first round of the draft? The year.
Late 2010s. Pretty much know what the options are going to be. Let's go 2018 final.
All right, let's get our guy Marshy.
Wes, how you feeling?
Fast.
Well, feeling pretty good. I'm going to the Blues in the few anyway. I was going to see Jamie, but apparently not, I guess.
I know. It's a
national broadcast.
ESPN game, and they don't even let us in the building. It's weird.
Yeah.
That's actually not true.
I was going to say, I don't think that's true at all.
Jamie's telling tall tales.
Well, hopefully Wes is good luck for the Blues tonight.
Maybe.
Hey, Wes, get a big victory tonight. What do you think, bud?
Yeah, we'll hold McDavid to 1 point, hopefully.
That's a victory. Hell yeah.
Take that, yeah. All right, Marsh, how's it going to silence?
It was very silent.
Okay. No Mike Ryder there hanging out.
Another day off for Mike.
Yep. No, he's working from home.
It's more fun
Always.
to just more fun to just.
I don't like that with Ryder, though.
I do.
You know, anybody else?
No, I like it because it's so not Mike Ryder.
That's true.
Come on, he was the rock star of the month.
Yeah,
he was.
the rock star of the quarter.
Well,
They had to stop doing the month thing because people stopped paying attention, probably. They
Ryder's
forgot.
picture just consecutively
They
rock
should.
star should just be a
lifetime
Employee of the
award.
month, employee of the year.
You should go with the Mike Ryder award.
Yeah,
probably
great point.
should.
Yeah. All right, Marsh. Your category today is baseball.
okay.
Jamie?
Pack a lunch, like Wes said.
Question 1. How many teams play in the Grapefruit League during spring training?
All right. I mean, it's going to be like 13, 14, 15, or 16. I feel like they're split. I'll go with, I think the easy answer would be 15 to split the two. I'll go with 16, though. I'll say 16. Final answer.
Question 2, Andrew. Last March 28th, Victor Scott II went 0-for-3 and stole a base in his MLB debut for the Cardinals. Where did Victor Scott II hit in Ollie Marmol's lineup that afternoon?
March, what, 28th?
Yes.
Where did he hit? He probably hit 9th. Final answer.
Question number 3. Despite leading the National League in runs scored, homers, and RBIs, Albert Pujols missed a third straight MVP in 2010. Who took home the hardware that season?
2010. Oh, jeez. Who had a really good year? National League MVP 2010. I'm gonna need the options.
Is it Joey Votto, Troy Tulowitzki, or Ryan Braun?
I'm between Ryan Braun, the real Ryan Braun, and Joey Votto. Man. Let's go Joey Votto. Final answer.
Final question, Marsh. Former Redbird Dylan Carlson is now a member of the Baltimore Orioles. When did St. Louis pick Carlson in the first round of the draft? Give us that year, please.
All right, let's see. He debuted in 2020. I'm going to go with 2018. Final answer.
All right. Let's go over these, shall we? Start off with that last question. Former Redbird Dylan Carlson is now a member of the Baltimore Orioles. When did St. Louis pick Carlson in the first round of the draft? Give us the year, please. We just heard Marsh say 2018. We also heard Wes say 2018. Correct answer is
2016.
2016. Wow. 2016, Dylan Carlson was selected in the first round, so we got a 0-0 tie. Despite leading the National League in runs scored, homers, and RBIs, Albert Pujols missed a third straight MVP in 2010. Who took home the hardware that season? Marsh, you took the options. You went with Joey Votto. Wes, you ran through a couple of different options. You said, was that the year that... I don't know who you first said. McCutchen, that's right. Andrew McCutchen, or was that Votto? Better get the options. You landed with Joey Votto. Correct answer is
Joey Votto.
Nice.
We get a 1-1 tie.
Good job, Wes.
Last March 28th, Victor Scott II went 0-for-3 and stole a base in his Major League Baseball debut for the Cardinals. Where did Victor Scott II hit in Ollie Marmol's lineup that afternoon? Neither of you took the options. You both went with 9th. Correct answer is...
He did bat 9th a lot. On that day, it was 8th.
8th. Really? That's the correct answer. We remain
Who the hell batted 9th?
deadlocked at 1-1.
Who knows? Should have been Goldie.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Really? I'm sorry, guys. I know. I'm
Not at that point in the year.
I'm sorry. Not yet.
Comes down to this. How many teams play in the Grapefruit League during spring training? So Marsh went through this whole thing where he's like, the obvious answer is probably 15, but I don't think it's 15. I'll go with 16 because there's an imbalance, essentially, Marsh said. Wes just said 15 right off the bat. If it's 15, Wes wins, and Wes is an undeniable jerk.
Yes.
That's the way it goes.
If it's 16, well, Wes is a nice guy, but Marsh wins. If it's any other number ever in the history of numbers, up to 30 at least, we've got a walk-off. Carey, how many teams play in the Grapefruit League during spring training?
15.
of course.
Wes.
You have chosen wisely.
Wes, you came in hot. You called out Marsh.
Yeah.
You kind of did this self-proclaimed, I'm a jerk.
Oh, what a jerk.
Wow.
You've got confirmation, my friend.
Yeah.
Nice job.
You're
Good job,
real
Wes.
jerk.
You scumbag.
Good game, Marsh. Plenty of my ex-girlfriends would probably agree I am a jerk. So,
Oh, man. All right,
You know
Wes.
what? You won one of the gauntlets, so.
Nice job. All right, so
Well, what's the strategy moving forward, though?
Wow.
Because we know he's a jerk now, but how does that work against us? Because we're jerks as well.
I'm sure Wes will come up with something.
I'll figure something.
Yeah. All right, so Wes, we'll have you back tomorrow, man.
Good job, Wes.
All right, thanks. Good job, Marsh.
Okay, so
nice.
MD 2020 did bring this up. Marsh brought it up yesterday that nobody had sat in the
Yeah, no, it's me.
In the,
what?
in the
Anthony?
penalty box.
I don't think that's what it says. What
For a
does it
few
say,
weeks.
Anthony? I believe you can say it.
Good job, Ken. Nope.
You
Catch
can.
yourself.
I don't think that's what MD 2020 meant.
Well,
Oh, I think it's definitely what he meant.
Oh, wow, I just read that.
Either way,
Yeah, I'll be
Marsh is
watching
heading
in
into the
corner.
penalty box, and we might have breaking news on your Cardinals.
Yes.
What?
That's next on 101 ESPN.
hey, it's Carey, and I'm here for Window Nation. In this February, you could have missed Groundhog's Day. Maybe you can miss President's Day, even Valentine's Day. Well, some of you probably shouldn't miss Valentine's Day, but don't miss your chance at Window Nation to save 60% off of all window styles and pay nothing for 2 years. Only from Window Nation. The offer ends February 28th, so you'll want to subscribe and schedule your free in-home consultation right now at 866-90Nation or online at windownation.com. Heating costs are getting out of control, and experts say it's going to get even worse before the spring. You want a long-term solution to save your money, you need to reach out to Window Nation. Right now, again, you can save 60% off of all window styles. They are a AAA Better Business Bureau A+ rating from Better Business Bureau. They will do that inspection. They will get that window done in 1 day or less, and you can schedule that in-home estimate right now, 866-90Nation. Visit them at windownation.com, and you can get it done as soon as possible. Again, February 28th is when the sale ends, and it is 60% off of all window styles. Reach out to them now, 866-90Nation or windownation.com.
So we may have some breaking news eventually for the Cardinals, but John Morosi tweeted out not that long ago, it's about a half hour ago now, the Red Sox and Cardinals have had recent communication about Nolan Arenado. If the trade talks move forward, they could have implications for Alex Bregman's market. Of note, Cardinals exec Chaim Bloom has close knowledge of Boston's prospects. Obviously, Chaim Bloom drafted a lot of those guys that are now in the Boston farm system. Mm-hmm. I have maintained that I think that there's no trade market for Nolan Arenado after the Houston deal fell through, after Arenado nixed the Houston deal, I should say. And that's going to be very difficult for the Cardinals to trade him before this season. If Morosi's correct, though, it would, in my opinion, be the perfect landing spot for Arenado for the Cardinals. Again, given Bloom's knowledge of that farm system.
Yeah.
That also, by the way, doesn't mean that they're going to get something significant in return for Arenado. Doesn't mean that the player that Bloom drafted and then if they acquire, that player for Arenado is going to work out. But at least the odds increase that the Cardinals can get a player that's got some upside if Bloom is part of this trade negotiation.
Yeah, I think that's really the key. Two things that are the keys. One, you're unloading that money. If you're the Cardinals, you're unloading that money, and Boston's a team that financially can take on that money.
Right.
They used to run with the Yankees. They used to run with the Dodgers. They take a little break, but they still have the pockets to do it if they choose to.
Right.
Part two of this is that Chaim Bloom, right away, Boston's not going to give you any of their top prospects. They're just not. But because Chaim Bloom...
But they should. Arenado's been great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So part two of that, right, is that Chaim Bloom knows their system and knows some of the prospects, and he might know of a diamond in the rough or something that could be.
Right.
It's not a guarantee, but could be. At least a major league player. I'm not saying a star or a Hall of Famer or a... You all right over there, Marshy?
He had a sneeze, so he did the respect.
I thought it was my seat when I sat up.
No, he did the respect.
No, it was your seat.
That's because you farted. I was like, jeez, Carey.
Marsh did the respectful thing, and he walked away from the mic.
You're breaking wind right here on the air.
Unlike somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not making fun of you.
Sounds like it.
Carey, your thoughts on Nolan Arenado potentially becoming a Red Sox?
I think that...
How convenient.
Oh, goodness.
Timing was perfect on that, eh, Marshy?
So is this breaking news. We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, now you want to talk about that.
He can barely hear you anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Actually, I can hear pretty well over here. They must have fixed something.
Good. You can stay with that.
Wow. Yeah, they've been fixing a lot of things in here lately.
Have they?
Have they?
Well, we're on air, too, which is always fun.
How I think about it is, I think that if it works out and the Cardinals are able to get that salary off the books, I don't know how much Boston is going to take of the salary. Like I said that about Houston.
All of it.
Well, if they do that, then sure. The thing that surprised me about the Houston deal was that they were taking so much of the salary, which the Cardinals were definitely willing to do. But I guess the second question becomes is, do we know for sure that Nolan Arenado will agree to this trade? Like, you can talk about it amongst these two.
I think he will. I think he'll go to Boston.
Do we know that for sure?
No, of course not.
Okay, because Boston's a long way from California,
but
from LA.
If you're the Cardinals, after he rejected one trade, wouldn't you go talk to him first and say, by the way, we're about to talk to the Red Sox. Is this a waste of time or not?
Yeah. By the way, cut the crap.
and he could say, I'll think about it.
We're shipping you out to Boston. Are you good with that?
He's like, yeah, I'll think about it. And you go on with the deal. You're like, yeah, you know what? No, I don't want to. Like, I don't know. We don't know what his desire is, his goal is for this offseason and this upcoming season. So if it does go through, awesome. Both parties get what they need. All three parties, the Red Sox, the Cardinals, and Nolan Arenado, get what they need. And the Cardinals are able to move on because this has been kind of lingering and hanging over the entire offseason. What will Nolan Arenado do? What will the Cardinals do with him if he's not able to be traded? Obviously, he'll be on the team and on the roster and in the lineup. So we'll see what happens. For me, I hope it does happen just to get over it and get the opportunity for Nolan Gorman to be an everyday player, with something we've talked about constantly here. If you don't do that, Nolan Gorman is more than like Nolan Gorman, maybe Alec Burleson. Those are going to be the odd men looking in. So we'll see.
Marsh from the penalty box.
Is that what this is called?
Your thoughts?
No, there's no chair. Otherwise, there'd be a different name.
Yeah.
According to MD 2020 in the snake pit.
Yeah.
Your gut feel, because you're the person in here that's got the intuition, the creativity, the foresight. You have visions.
Marsh, you had a vision.
Yeah, I did.
Is Nolan Arenado a Red Sox within the next 24 to 48 hours?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh, it's done. Marsh, said it.
All right.
Oh, I thought you were saying.
Come up next year.
Gary, that's it. No, it's done. Morosi reporting.
That would be hilarious.
Now, could he be a Red Sox in a week? Maybe. I just don't see it happening, while we're working during the week. I think it would happen on like a Friday.
No problem.
Okay, I see.
A Friday at night.
Friday about 6:05?
6:05.
Sure.
That sounds about right to me.
All right, so that's what your crystal balls are saying.
My crystal balls are saying that this could happen while we are not working.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, so if you're just joining us, a potential story, non-story, maybe a story, could be a story, probably not a story. The Red Sox and Cardinals have had recent communication about Nolan Arenado. Sources tell John Morosi. If the trade talks move forward, they could have implications on Alex Bregman's market, of course, because the Red Sox have been the team that has been linked a lot to Alex Bregman. Of note, Cardinals exec Chaim Bloom has close knowledge of Boston's prospects. Again, this all according to John Morosi. So we'll continue to keep tabs on this and see if anything happens. But for now, the Cardinals and Red Sox just continue to talk about Nolan Arenado, but nothing has been finalized as of yet. Marsh, you tired of that penalty box?
Yeah, it's tough walking about 5 feet over here. I'm a little gassed.
Or gassy.
Well, that was yesterday. I had a couple pieces of chocolate last night.
Is that what does it to
my
you?
night.
Chocolate do that to you?
Well, I don't know. It was either the spaghetti that I ate or it was the chocolate. So
those are two
that's a lot.
Weird things.
Yeah. So I was a little, I was feeling a little gassy last night.
Yeah, you're all right?
Yeah. There's been no
effects.
Nothing.
Okay. We're going to do our Sports Six-Pack next. The Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you have a question for us, send it there, and we'll answer it next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Nick Leddy is back for your St. Louis Blues. Him and his teammates will take on the Edmonton Oilers tonight, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We'll talk with Joe Vitale at 5:30, so stay tuned for that. But coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack, so get your questions into the Air Comfort Service text line. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line, so get those questions in as we do the Sports Six-Pack next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
All right, as Marsh just told you in the Sports Center update, we've got our Sports Six-Pack now. So the Air Comfort Service text line is 314-399-9646. If you got a question for us, great, send it there. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, and here is Marsh.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 314, the Blues youth movement has not worked. Why do you like the Cardinals youth movement?
Well, first of all, the Blues youth movement, it just started. What?
I was going to say it's a different sport. I don't know.
It is a different sport, but the Blues youth movement literally started at the end of last season with like 2 guys that came up to the roster. So
We're in the middle of it. We're maybe not even in the middle of it.
We're at the quarter point right now. I'm not saying it didn't work yet. I can't say that. I do think that Holloway and Broberg are looking pretty damn good, though.
What evidence do you have? Their production or
just everything?
Okay.
Yep.
I'll speak for myself on the Cardinals. I'm not saying I like the youth movement. I'm saying it was 100% necessary. You continue to do the same things that you've been doing, you're destined to fail. You may counter with, well, why don't they just spend more? They could, but they're never going to be to the level as the highest spending teams in the league. And you're fighting over scraps. Let's just be real. The Dodgers, the Phillies, Red Sox, Yankees, whoever, the big spenders can outbid you. And the teams I mentioned are on the coast, where a lot of players seemingly want to play. So, what do you do then? Do you continue to spend on the second tier and third tier free agents? That's what you want to do, and overspend to that degree? You overspent on Steven Matz based on the production. You overspent on Dexter Fowler based on the production. You overspent on Mike Leake based on the production. Wilson Contreras has been great from a hitting standpoint. You had to move him to first base, and your pitching staff threw him under the bus 2 years ago. So while that has kind of worked out, has it really? So do you want to continue to go down this path? You have to start over. And to start over, you have to have a youth movement. So I don't know if it's going to work out. I can't say that I like the youth movement because we haven't even started yet. But what I will say is it was an unnecessary evil. I'm sorry, a necessary evil, not an unnecessary. A necessary evil. I misspoke.
Yeah, I think to your point, Jamie, I think the Blues youth movement has just started, and we haven't even seen any of the Cardinals youth movement yet. So how the hell can I say it ain't going to work? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't play baseball. I don't pick up a bat.
You used to.
I did used to.
For the Reds.
That was Eric Davis. I actually called myself Eric. I wasn't actually Eric.
Well, that wasn't you.
That wasn't me.
You just called yourself that.
Yeah, I didn't like the name Carey, so I just walked around telling people my name was Eric.
Huh. Hey, let me tell you something.
If you're going to shoot for you're going to be somebody, you right?
In all seriousness, man, for you to admit that vulnerable moment on air and own it.
Yeah.
And to laugh it off because obviously not a big deal.
No.
That's a big man.
My name now. But then being named Carey, like people call me, that's a girl's name. That's what they would say, right? Hey, you know Jamie.
I do.
See?
Jamie Summers was like the something, the bionic woman.
There you go.
Or something. And so, because, hey, Jamie Summers, so I just punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Mariah Carey.
That stopped, didn't it?
Does that feel like a girl just punched you in the mouth?
Well, girls can punch very
They sure
hard.
can. I didn't punch in the mouth.
Clarissa Shields was punching the hell out of it.
Warranted, but still.
Clarissa Shields was punching people.
It's probably warranted.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that.
Anyways, very big of you.
No problem.
And I love both of your names.
Thank you.
Yours too, Marsh.
Thanks.
You love Andrew or do you love Marsh? Because
that was different the way he said that. Yeah.
Andrew.
Okay. You never call him Andrew, though.
Oh, I will now.
Not a lot of people do.
Andrew. Did you ever go by Drew before?
Or Andy?
No. No. My dentist called me Andy when I was younger, and I hated it.
Andy.
By the way, all the Andys.
No offense to anyone named
Andys are
Andy.
listening.
How about Toy Story?
Yeah.
No, that's just not me.
Andrew.
I'm not an Andy. There are people out there who are Andys, and it fits them very well.
He
It
doesn't
just
like
does
you,
not
Strick.
fit me.
Andrew, good stuff, my man.
Thanks.
Well said. Can we have the second question now, please?
Thank you, Anthony.
That seemed.
What?
I don't know.
Question number 2.
Oh, by the way, Anthony, we all like your name, too.
Oh,
We
thanks,
do.
man. Yeah.
We do.
We almost
I appreciate
forgot to reciprocate.
No, you don't have to. I love it. It's good.
All right.
Good,
from,
strong name.
From the 217.
You're a jerk.
So who is punching who in the mouth first today, Jamie or Carey? Don't know who wins, but it really sounds like it's coming. Yikes.
No,
We would never.
Why would Carey and I fight? People just they don't get us.
No. Like, we talk because that's just the nature of us. We're sick.
I'm not fighting Carey. Carey and I are fighting together.
Hey, back to back.
Yeah.
That's why we don't go out together, because it's the likelihood of having one too many. And he's saying, what is that guy looking at? I don't know. Let's go find out.
That's the problem there.
Yeah, you
There's
guys
no
would fuel
fire
it.
extinguisher
No.
in the group.
You guys
There's
would
just
fuel
a
each
pack
other.
of matches and gas.
Yeah. You would need Andrew.
We would.
You would need Andrew.
We definitely would need Andrew.
That
Not
feels
you
weird
either,
now.
because you're no good either.
Oh, no, I'd be
hell no.
You'd be like, I see it
You're
too,
like,
man.
I saw it. I don't know what the hell he's looking
That's
at.
crap. I wouldn't take that.
It's like I'd be the devil on both shoulders.
There's no way.
Like, no, I see it there too.
Marsh would be like, guys, I really don't think we need to do this.
Now let's go F him up.
Yeah.
Okay, Andy.
Oh, little Andy. Oh.
No, to be fair, Andrew Marsh. I'm just gonna call Marsh.
What a weird name.
It's so weird now.
It's weird when you say it out loud.
Yeah, I tried. I tried for those 20 seconds or so. But Marsh would be sitting there, and he would actually be making a lot of sense. He'd be like, guys, first of all, I don't think he's looking at us at all. Like
And he probably wouldn't be.
his back is his back is to us. First of all, and look, we're all having a good time. Let's just hang out here. You know,
Yeah, he turned around. You didn't see him turn around
Yeah.
and look. Yeah. And snicker.
And then one
laugh.
of us would just say, "Let's get him."
All right.
How shocked would you be if I was the first one to throw a
If
punch?
you're the
Very
first
shocked.
one, then it's definitely going down.
Very shocked.
Then you know something bad has happened.
Yeah, you're
Can we
right.
pause and giggle for a second because he's the first one? We go like,
What
really?
is going on
Yeah.
here?
Who had money on Marshy doing
Right.
this?
Yeah.
And then whoever that person would, they wouldn't
they're
be
dead.
walking or
It'd be a tough night
they'd be eating out of a straw.
for several weeks.
Yeah. Okay. I think we accomplished a lot there in that question.
Got it.
So yeah, Carey and Jamie are not fighting.
No,
Never.
no, we'll argue. We're not going to fight.
Yeah,
That's my guy.
damn right.
What would be worse,
Except
like
for when he
getting
was on the highway and I wanted to punch him in his face. I really did. I didn't know it was him. I wanted to get out of the
Send him.
car on the Page extension and beat the hell out of this man. And I didn't realize it was him. And
it
when
was
he
Jamie.
pulled up smiling and laughing, I was like, oh my God.
Let's kill him.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. I thought it would be fun. It worked out so much better.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yep. Good times.
Question number 3.
All right, from the 314, if the Blues youth movement is not successful, who is to blame? Is it the players, coaches, or general manager?
Oh, well, depends. I guess it depends how it doesn't work out. Like if there's injuries or if the players just flat out don't ever meet expectation. If the players don't meet expectation, if they underperform, then that's on management. It's front office. You picked the wrong guys. It's the bottom line. Like, the coach can coach as much as he wants, and the players, I guess they could be on the players too. Although the players don't sit there telling you, how good they're going to be. They just, they get drafted and they try to play the game as best they can. And in order of importance, I'd say number one would be scouting staff, front office / whoever drafted them or acquired them. 2 would be the players. And 3, a distant 3, would be the coach. I mean, he's coaching what he's got to the best of his ability.
Mm-hmm. Let's continue our Sports Six-Pack next with the final 3 questions. So keep them coming in. Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. We'll continue our Sports Six-Pack next.
Hey, it's Carey, and if you're a contractor or you own a business that needs recycling, my good friends over at Scrap Mart Metals can help you. They're tailor-made for your business to meet your schedule and your budget. They understand that job site cleanup for you contractors can be a mess, but if you set up a business account with Scrap Mart to recycle that metal, it'll be one less thing you'd have to do during cleanup. You'd be amazed at how the scrap metals add up and how it can truly help your business's cash flow. You don't have to own a business to deal with Scrap Mart. You can have some things that you need to recycle. Spring is coming up soon. Maybe you got some things from spring cleaning that you need to get rid of, you're unable to sell in your garage sale, you can get over to Scrap Mart and recycle that as well. If you're a plumber, you have heating and cooling, an excavator, or any type of contractor, Scrap Mart Metals Recycling can make your job easier. If you own that heavy equipment, it breaks down time and time again. You have to repair it. Eventually, the time will come where you have to get rid of it. Scrap Mart will come and get it out of your way. They'll haul it to one of their convenient locations, Valley Park, Jonesburg, or Peevely. If it's metal, they will buy it. Visit them today at scrapmartmetals.com. My guy Lucas can talk to you about setting up a business account to get you rolling. That's scrapmartmetals.com, and tell them Carey sent you.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. Here's Andrew Marsh with your continued questions to the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646.
Question number 4.
From the 314, are the Cardinals struggling to get back to their ways? Does it all stem from the passing of Oscar Taveras?
I think a lot of Cardinals fans, I shouldn't say a lot. I think some Cardinals fans believe that is when things shifted. And maybe to some degree it did. But we're also making a massive assumption that Oscar Taveras was going to be, let's just say, the next Albert Pujols. Because he would probably have needed to be, based on the fact that, as we see now, there wasn't a ton of position talent within the organization. We're still only talking about one player. So I do think part of the reason the Cardinals are in the spot now is because of the tragic passing of Oscar Taveras. I do not think it's the end-all, be-all. In my opinion, that certainly started, maybe not started. I think it hurt Mo's line of thinking of like, well, we need to shift to position players. And he got away from pitching. And it almost jump-started the idea of we need, among all, it doesn't matter what the cost is to bring in Goldschmidt and then bring in a partner for him. And that's how you get to Ozuna. And if I'm just going to pick out one thing, and regular listeners know this, if I'm just going to circle one thing that has led the Cardinals to where they're at now, to me, it was the Marcell Ozuna trade. To give up those two pitchers.
Yeah.
In that, I know, Carey, you disagree, but for me, the start wasn't Taveras. It was giving up those two pitchers because here's the thing. Forget the trade for a second, or forget the players in the trade. Let's just highlight why the Cardinals were doing it. They wanted a partner for Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, they needed a bat.
They needed another bat. And when you make a deal like that, why? Why are you making it? Because you didn't draft that player. You didn't develop that player.
True.
So whether it's free agency or a massive trade like that, you're admitting a fault. You're admitting a mistake. Saquon Barkley, when the Eagles signed him, that roster was already chock full. Yes, they needed a running back, but that was like a cherry on top. That's not what I'm talking about here. They essentially admitted, we can't find this player in the draft. So now we need to give up assets to do it. And they brought in Ozuna. And they gave up pitching. This organization under Mo has always done a great job of bringing in pitchers. Whether it was first round, second round, seventh round, Mo had an eye for it. And all of a sudden, the focus became so much on position players that it eventually led to them being where they're at now, in my opinion.
Let me ask you a question. In hindsight, now we look back and go, oof, should have probably held on to those two guys. Mm-hmm. However, let's go hindsight again in a different direction.
Sure.
If the Cardinals would have held on to Ozuna, knowing what we know now, would it still hurt as much?
Yes.
No. Ozuna had
he's an all-star last year.
He's had some really good seasons.
Does he pitch?
No, but you're missing my
not
point.
Yet.
I'm not. I think you're missing mine, and I love you. But I think you're missing mine.
He won't even listen to ours.
He doesn't listen to us.
Wait, how would that have affected the pitching if they would have kept Ozuna?
Well, he's saying the pitching already would have been gone.
Yeah,
but you would have had the hitting. So
right, but if you would have kept Ozuna and he would do what he did with Atlanta, minus some things off the field, but
well, yeah, let's keep it on the field.
Sure, let's look at
how does that still doesn't affect pitching because it's already gone.
Which is Jamie asked me that question.
Yeah, but I'm saying to counter
it wouldn't have mattered. I still think you're in this spot where you're at now, is my point.
I would disagree. I think the offense would be with the pitching that you're able to have a couple of years ago.
How did the Paul Goldschmidt Arenado thing work out?
Well, they have.
You guys like that?
I did in 22.
Did it work out well?
Maybe they get
Got us
better
in the
pitches,
playoffs.
though. They get better pitches to see.
How many playoffs? How many playoff wins with those two guys? It's the same idea, right? You keep Ozuna, you got the bat. Well, you got a bat.
You got 3 bats now.
Maybe. Do they make the Arenado deal?
You only need 1.
2 sometimes.
Because this is also the organization. We can't have it both ways. We often say this is the organization that.
Oh, do they even go get Arenado
exactly.
if they have? Oh, okay. I could say that.
They wouldn't have.
I could counter
for sure.
your.
I agree.
Your Ozuna trade with if Alex Reyes and Jack Flaherty stay healthy, you're okay. They didn't.
But pitching breaks down all the time.
Which
is why this organization.
How did Alexander's season go last year?
Had they stayed healthy,
did it?
For doctors.
That's what I'm saying.
So eventually, those guys were going to get hurt as well. But if those two had stayed healthy, the Ozuna trade actually was a really good deal. But those two players didn't reach the full potential of what the expectation was for them. That's not on the Cardinals. I can't predict someone getting injured unless I'm, a forward-thinking organization like the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I just sign every pitcher under the sun because I know at some point someone's going to get banged up. And I got plenty.
Jamie? What did the New York Giants do that left them criticized?
Traded.
They drafted Daniel Jones.
They signed him to a contract extension.
No. Yes and yes.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Giants. It's on me. I didn't specify.
Oh.
The Giants in the 2000s. The early 2000s.
Oh, they won Super Bowls with Eli.
Yeah.
They drafted
Michael Strahan and
pass
Justin
rushers,
Tuck
and they just kept
O.C. Umenyiora.
And I remember the commentators were like, "They already have pass rushers. You can never have enough pass rushers. You can never have enough pitching."
Those guys can't hit a baseball.
They can't. I don't know.
You know what, Jamie? You're right. Good point.
You could.
Good point.
I thought he meant the San Francisco Giants when he started.
I was like,
okay.
I think there's a world where you might bring in Arenado, even if you do have Ozuna, because you brought in Goldschmidt,
especially since the Rockies
when
were paying
Ozuna was already on the Cardinals.
You had Goldschmidt.
No, Ozuna was traded in 2017,
and then they added Goldschmidt.
Goldschmidt was 2018.
Okay, so let's say they keep Ozuna and Goldschmidt. We constantly have criticized this organization for kicking up their feet after they make a move. I don't think they would be as forward-thinking as to also acquire Nolan Arenado, because you'd be paying Ozuna, you'd be paying Goldschmidt. I mean, we can't sit here and say the Cardinals are cheap and they don't do anything beyond just filling needs and that's it, and then say that they would be ultra aggressive and take on Arenado's contract. In my opinion.
Can't have it both ways?
You'd like to, but you can't.
I agree. Yeah.
Interesting hypothetical. I don't know. Yeah. But
how about they just play better? The guys that are here.
Cardinals play better. I'll say aye.
Carey.
Aye.
Aye. Sure.
Good job, Carey.
Yep.
Question number 5.
From the 618, if the Blues build a perennial playoff contender for the next several years but never win the cup during the retool, was it still a successful retool? This listener says it would be.
So they become a really good team, like a perennial playoff team, but never win the cup?
Basically, their entire franchise before 2019.
Yeah, I think that's a success. I mean, you have to. If you're making the playoffs every year, you win a round, you win 2, you go to a conference final in 16. So, yeah. I mean, the Stanley Cup is obviously very difficult to win. You want to win it, but there are a lot of things that go into it. There's some luck, there's skill, there's determination, there's matchups, there's certain teams that get eliminated, certain teams that don't, and all of that carves your way to the Stanley Cup. But I'd say absolutely it would be a success.
Yeah, I was telling my buddy, and to your point, my buddy's a Blackhawks fan, my college roommate, so that was interesting. But when the Blues defeated them in Game 7, I was looking at that roster. I was like, oh my gosh, that Blackhawks roster was super good. If they beat the Blues, I wouldn't be shocked if they went to the Stanley Cup again and played the Penguins and maybe won again. So it is matchups and who you play and how you're built and how many games you play in a roster that are in the playoffs. Like, I think that was one of the reasons why the Blues ultimately did not get to the Stanley Cup that season, because maybe they didn't put away the Blackhawks and the Stars earlier than they should have. They end up going, 7 games and then I believe 6 games in those first 2 rounds. And then by the time they get to the Western Conference Final against the Sharks, Anthony's team ends up kind of beating up on them because the Blues just ran out of gas.
Kind of like Carey's Ravens. It's fascinating on ESPN.
It's coming.
I'm getting shot. You're getting shot, Carey. You know it. You appreciate it. I know you do. I know you do.
That's a stray bullet, though. Wow.
Yeah, it really was.
Minding my business. Wow. All right.
I'm sorry. I feel that way.
Exactly.
Joe Vitale is going to join us at 5:30, so we'll talk to Joe. We also have Jamie's keys to victory tonight. Light the lamp. Bet the board. Congratulations, everybody. Day 1. Everybody got their pick in and got it right for Bet the board.
You all tried.
You went out on a limb, man. I got to give it to you. When you sent, I read off the text you sent us, too, about how I don't care that the Wizards only have 7 wins on the year. I got a feeling, boys. I'm going to take the Wizards. We all laughed, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Because you had a feeling. The Wizards won outright.
Yeah.
And Hoodie in the snake pit was like, maybe I shouldn't have picked Carey.
Yeah.
Need to have a little bit more faith in your guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I can't wait to hear what Carey's Bet the Board play is a little bit later on. But where does Andy Reid, who is going to return at least for one more season, confirmed with the Kansas City Chiefs, where does Andy Reid rank among the all-time greats? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, fellas, it's Carey Davis, and could you use a little extra in the bedroom? I know we all could. Blue Chew can help. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations like Jamie wants to have with me right now, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And, Jamie, it ships right to your door direct in a discreet package so you can get it and nobody has to know. Blue Chew tablets are made in the U.S., and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. And if you're ready for a great offer, how about free? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month free, Jamie. Your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it. Your partner wants you to be the best you can be and do whatever it takes to have your sex life better. Blue Chew is your secret weapon for the bedroom and wherever you decide to do it. Doesn't have to be in the bedroom. You can get it on wherever. Turn oh no into oh yes. Pro athletes, we often train every day to perform better on the field, but what if you can improve your performance without anything, without any training? Blue Chew is it. Go to them right now, BlueChew.com, and get going. Chew it and do it.
.502, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, and Anthony Stalter. Andy Reid will go for his third straight Super Bowl with the Chiefs. No coach has done that unless you want to consider the NFL championships or the football championships. But when it comes to where Andy Reid is all time among the greatest, he's still coaching, and he's going to coach beyond this season. He's going to come back next year. That was confirmed earlier today. But Reid's got he's got 3 Super Bowls, could be 4 by Sunday. Belichick has the most with 6. Lambeau and George Halas also had 6 in the pre-Super Bowl era. Lombardi had 5, including 2 Super Bowls. Reid is trying to tie Chuck Noll and Guy Chamberlain. He also, Reid does, stands 4th all-time in victories. He's 55 behind Shula, 43 behind Halas, and 29 behind Belichick. So there's that, right? You can't just measure Super Bowl, can't just measure wins. You could if you wanted to, but Carey, as somebody that has been, has played in the NFL, has been coached by an excellent one in Mike Tomlin, and I'm sure you played against Reid. I know you did once, at least, in the NFC Championship game. Where do you think Reid ranks all time?
I mean, you win another Super Bowl. I think people also forget what he did in Philadelphia, taking them to 1 Super Bowl, but 4 NFC championship games in a row. Like, that was a really good team that just was unable to get over the hump and had to move on and go to Kansas City and get paired up with who could arguably go down as the best quarterback to ever play the game. Andy Reid, you said 53 wins from the all-time record?
He stands 4th in all-time victories. He's 55 behind Shula and 43 behind Halas. He's 29 behind Belichick.
You're looking at 5-6 seasons to possibly pass. I mean, that's 10 wins a year.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, right.
10 wins a year. You're past. You're the all-time winningest coach in NFL history, assuming that Bill Belichick doesn't come back, which doesn't look like he will. He's in North Carolina. He'll be all right.
North Carolina.
I think you put him up there, and I think you put him up there as the if he's able to win another Super Bowl, go on and pass that all-time winningest coaching record of all, have the most wins of all time, and you figure he's probably going to add in those 5 seasons, you probably add another couple of Super Bowls onto that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're at 6 Super Bowls total at that point, because now will be 4 if they're able to win this one. You win 2 or 3 more, you're at 6 or 7, and you're the all-time winningest regular season coach. Yeah, he would have to go down as the greatest head football coach of all time. And I know people often look at Bill Belichick because of what he's done. You think of college football, you automatically think of Nick Saban because of the championships that he won. But you got to put Andy Reid on that list, and probably at the very top of it.
It's always tough to have these conversations in any sport, but football especially, because Andy Reid, obviously, just like any coach right now, offense or defense, has borrowed from previous generations. You just build upon it. So nothing's ever truly new. You can have new play designs, and we've seen Andy Reid as one of the most creative play designers in league history. But it's tough to have the conversation about, where Andy Reid ranks when you have previous coaches that introduced brand new offenses or concepts. At some point, the spread didn't exist. At some point, Eric Coryell decided that, you know what, why don't we start throwing the ball instead of 3 yards in a cloud of dust? What Andy Reid has meant to the game of football is difficult when you think about those previous men that came before him. Yet he has taken 2 different teams to the Super Bowl, and he has reinvented himself constantly. And that's one of the things I admire most about any head coach, that is able to say, this worked then, but it's now. And what is going to work for me now? He changed his offense with Mahomes. He changed his offense with Smith. He changed his offense with Donovan McNabb. And I have a great appreciation for that. But when it comes to hey, where does he rank all time? That's a difficult one to have, Jamie, much like it is to say, hey, Wayne Gretzky compared to whoever,
That's not that hard.
Connor McDavid compared to whoever.
Yeah. Well, if it's Wayne Gretzky compared to Connor McDavid, that's where you get to, one guy.
Right, yeah.
You're right. I mean, let's go back. Guys like Tom Landry, great coach. I don't know how many championships he won, but I know he won a handful. And you just go round and round. Each generation, each era has usually a dominant coach or a couple of dominant coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I think where the discussion can be expanded is not just overall success of Super Bowls, but overall success of winning, so winning percentage and durability.
Mm-hmm.
I think the greatest coaches should be evaluated by how many teams they've coached, because the great coaches don't have a long list usually. Like Mike Tomlin, he's been there for how long?
16, 18 years, something like that.
Ooh. That's in the world of sports, that's incredible.
No doubt.
Now, Belichick had some speed bumps along
You're
the way.
counting, I can see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to add it up. It might be, what year is this?
It doesn't.
2025.
We were doing so good.
It might be.
17 years, I think.
All right,
He
so
got there in
17
07.
years. For me, that says something.
Yeah.
It does. He's got a couple of championships, and obviously he's made the playoffs every year. So that puts Mike Tomlin in a very unique group. Bill Belichick had a couple of speed bumps in the head coaching world before, but then once he landed on his feet in New England, he was there for 21 years. And his resume speaks for itself. Andy Reid, a couple of speed bumps too along the way, but also very successful. He was very successful in Philadelphia.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he comes to Kansas City, and he's very successful. Could be the first and only coach so far to win 3 championships in a row. So I think when you're talking about greatest coaches of all time, it's the winning and also the durability.
Yeah, the longevity.
The longevity, that's it, yeah.
Right. You have to be durable to coach that.
I
But
worded it
longevity.
wrong.
No,
Anthony,
yeah.
I get it. I said the wrong word.
No,
okay? Why do you got to go back and highlight it? Just you helped me out with longevity. Just leave it there.
You're right.
Okay?
You're right.
I mean, you got to be
could've moved
durable
on.
as well.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
But
You
do
got to
you
be
really
durable.
look at Andy Reid?
It's not safe over there on
Well,
the
he's
sidelines.
durable.
Is he?
Yeah. You got to stand there the entire game.
You know how hard that is to stand there?
Yeah, I do.
An entire, oh, my goodness. My back
I do. I
and knees.
stand for every damn home game here.
Back and knees are sore as hell.
So, yeah, you got to be
it's a lot.
durable.
All right, fine. Durable.
And the longevity.
Yes, yes. Okay, you got your way. Okay? We got there. Fine.
Good, great, grand, wonderful. Does the conversation change at all for you guys if the specific conversation, I should say, with Belichick and Reid, if Reid wins 3 in a row? Like, would you have Reid surpass Belichick?
I don't think so.
Based only on
Not
the
yet.
3 in a win?
I don't
3 in a
think
row?
so, based on what I just said. The longevity and the length of the success. I just saw somebody posted this, I don't know, a meme or picture on our text line. Said Bill Belichick, 9 Super Bowl appearances, Andy Reid 6, Tom Landry 6.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at that, like the three-peat certainly counts for something, but Belichick has, 8 Super Bowl rings?
Yeah.
6 as a head coach.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
But again, I think if Andy Reid is able,
He's a mastermind defensively.
Yeah.
For the
And I think
Giants.
Andy Reid is a mastermind offensively.
Yeah,
like
no,
he
yeah.
is a whiz with what he's been able to do. You know what he did with the Eagles and how he was able to manage Donovan McNabb and all and T.O. and all of the players that he had. Todd Pinkston and like you had guys that
Freddie
weren't
Mitchell,
Fred X. Like you had guys that weren't superstars, but you were able to take that team year after year and make it to an NFC championship game.
Yeah.
Like they didn't have the superstars. I mean, he had Brian Westbrook.
He was a really good
he's
player.
a really good player, but
like
they didn't have Hall of Fame offensive talent. Not that I can think of.
Okay, so let's do this. No Donovan McNabb, no T.O. Who are you thinking about for those Eagles teams under Andy Reid?
Westbrook.
I think Brian Dawkins.
Oh, you mean on the entire team?
Yeah.
Yes, probably.
And sorry, you were talking about offense,
I was
but
thinking
like
offense,
the entire team. I'm thinking Brian Dawkins,
Yeah.
which further proves your point.
That he was able to do as much with not as much. So,
Sure.
Well, then Belichick and Andy Reid would be in the same conversation because there are a couple of Super Bowl teams in New England that were very thin on, not even, the only Hall of Famer they had was Brady that was on the field.
They were very thin.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
No doubt. Waterboy brings up a good point. He says, Anthony, Jamie doesn't usually work this late on a Blues game day, so cut him some slack. And
he's a little tired.
Yeah, sorry, buddy.
Waterboy, really?
He's a little tired.
Wow, I'm not tired.
That's not what you said a few minutes ago.
I never said that today.
Carey.
Have I said it before? Yes. Did I say it today? No, Carey.
You have kids.
Yeah.
It's usually the telltale sign.
Yeah.
I'm not tired.
They get cranky.
Yeah.
I'm not sleepy.
Yeah.
It's time for a nap. No, I'm not tired. See his face?
You're all hopped up on that blue chew. Take it down a notch, okay?
You can tell.
Ready to go. I'm glad he's sitting next to you. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Hey, you can tune in next week as the morning after. They broadcast from Cardinals spring training all week long. TMA will be live from Roger Dean Stadium with the latest news and notes from Jupiter, Florida. Don't miss the morning after live from Cardinals spring training all next week on 101 ESPN. Brought to you by CarStar, your auto body repair experts. We're going to play Light the Lamp. Jamie's got some keys to victory, and we're going to do Bet the Board as well. That's all next on 101 ESPN. AutoCentersNissan.com has your next new ride. Why am I sure of that? Because they've got over 700 vehicles on the lot. So if you can't find a great car marked, at the price point that you want, the financing options are all there, then you're not going to find one, period. And with Auto Centers Nissan, they got their February deals going on. So they've got 2.339% for 36 months on 2025 Nissan Rogues. They got 2.9% APR for 60 months on the same vehicle, whether you're looking at a Rogue or a Pathfinder. Great deals on Pathfinders right now. You can start at AutoCentersNissan.com. When you do drive out to Herculaneum, though, you're going to see that they do have different makes and different models. It's one of the largest. In fact, I think it is the largest pre-owned dealership that you're going to find in the greater St. Louis area or the St. Louis area. So when it comes to Auto Centers Nissan, they give you that peace of mind with the 30-day return promise. They've got their lifetime warranty going on right now with any 2025 Nissan. They've got the financing options like I was talking about before. So anybody, whether you got good credit or bad credit, they will finance the vehicle for you. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan and AutoCentersNissan.com. Don't forget, we got Blues and Oilers pregame starting right here on 101 ESPN at 6 o'clock. The puck will drop at 7 o'clock with Carey Davis and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. And here's Jamie Rivers with some keys to victory tonight for your St. Louis Blues as they take on, again, the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, I think for the Blues, you got to play another complete game. You know, that game in Utah was the first game in a long time where it looked like they put together a solid 60-minute effort. You're also going to need Jordan Binnington to be on top of his game. A performance much like you had in Utah. Binner was great. Made nice saves, made tough saves look easy, played the puck real well. And that's going to be the key, too, is Binner's got to get out, play the puck as much as he can early in the game. That nullifies any of that forecheck the Oilers are trying to get with that speed that they have up front. You want to stay above the puck. When McDavid and Draisaitl are out there, all that is fancy speak to say, stay between the puck and the net. Don't let these guys behind you.
Sure.
And in the offensive zone, if you're a defenseman, you got to make sure that you're very aware of where those guys are at. And if you're going to pinch down the wall to keep a puck in, you better have that coverage from the forward behind you because they can turn and burn in a hurry and they make it hurt quickly. And then the special teams as well. That battle tonight, don't take a penalty. Just don't. The Oilers are really good, and they get really good power play. So let's stay out of the box there.
So, Jamie, when you're a defenseman and you're pinching, which means you're essentially joining the play offensively.
You're down the wall, trying to keep the puck.
Besides having the forward, like you just described, having that forward ready to go behind you, what else is key?
Well, it's got to be better than a 50-50 puck.
So you have to make the decision before to pinch.
And even if it's not a 50-50 puck, or even it's a 40-60 puck, then you've got to be even one step ahead of it and be even more aggressive. And the only way to do that is knowing that you have the coverage behind you. Because if you go down the wall on a 50-50 puck or a 40-60 puck and you don't have the coverage behind you, all that guy has to do is chip it off the wall behind you, and they're gone.
And the play is to get the puck deep?
Keep it in. Yep.
Okay.
Keep it in down low. Ultimately, if you can get full control of the puck, that's great. You can protect the puck and hang on to it, or you can bat it back down along the wall to behind the net to one of your forwards that have popped out down there. But yes, that's the key. Is what happens then is most teams try to get out of the zone offensively, and if you can keep the puck going the other way, it creates a little bit of a gap sometimes in the middle of the zone. So you can sometimes turn a pinch into a quick play, pop pass to the middle, and get a shot on goal.
So it's okay to go to the middle then?
With the pass?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because if you've got a guy there,
right,
where you run into trouble is if that guy's covered, and you think, I can get it through there,
right,
and you can't.
That's what I'm thinking, because that's an easy breakaway.
It can be, at least a quick transition up the ice, because you still have to partner behind you and things like that.
Sure.
But that's where communication comes in, and it's knowing your teammates, being predictable. If Colton Parayko's out there and I'm a forward, and there's a puck that's coming around the other side of the net or on the boards, I know he wants to pinch. I know he can. He's fast. He's tall. He's got a great reach. I'm automatically in cover mode. So I'm headed straight back towards the blue line behind him to take his spot while he keeps the puck in.
Excellent.
Two questions here. One, you mentioned the special teams. What did you see from the power play in the last game? I thought they were moving the puck pretty quickly. Now, sometimes the puck was like bouncing here and there on sticks, but it looked quicker than what we're used to seeing. And then the second thing, do you think the Blues forwards fly the zone too quickly on defensive when they're trying to move the puck out of the zone? I've noticed that a few times. I don't know if that's part of what they're trying to do, but I just noticed that sometimes guys aren't necessarily on the walls, or they're flying the zone too quickly.
Yeah, it's a bad habit for sure. You are thinking north hockey quickly. And it can work sometimes depending on the team that you're playing. It's not a strategy that you use on a nightly basis or even like a whole game. Sometimes it's shift to shift. If you start picking up some tells where defensemen are creeping in down too low, or the high forward for them is kind of falling asleep a little bit, you tell your D-man, hey, I'm stretching. You get the puck, don't even look, just up the wall, up the ice, whatever, I'll be there. And you can try and create fast transition that way. It's not a set thing per se. And where the Blues do get in trouble sometimes is when they start doing that against a team that checks really well. So like the Hurricanes and like teams like that are really aggressive. That can really blow up in your face. And that's where you need to be connected with like 6, 7, 8-foot passes. Make sure you're getting good puck support, moving the puck up the ice, and you're not getting yourself in trouble by creating those hope passes.
Yeah, there's like a specific time they were trying to move the puck out of the zone, and I don't know who it was, but flew the zone, and the defenseman just stepped up and kept the puck right inside the blue line. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and sometimes on a play like that, too, the defenseman or whoever's breaking the puck out for the Blues, you have to realize that maybe to get from A to B, it's actually A to C to B. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a defenseman that's going to hold the blue line while the other guy blows the zone, your guy jumps behind him, passing it through that guy may not be an option, but there might be somebody else. Maybe it's a quick D to D up the ice. Maybe it's a quick D to far winger up the ice. Mm-hmm. Hence the A to C to B type thing. First question was what? The power play?
Yeah, the power play, moving the puck quicker.
Yeah, they have, and I've always said that. Mm-hmm. The quicker you move the puck, the harder it is for the opposing team to stay in a position of good defense. And all that means, though, is you have to be predictable as well, like to your own teammates. So whatever your setups are, whatever plays you're trying to run, you just have to be sure that those guys are going to be in that spot so that you can move the puck as fast as you possibly can. And then when you find that seam play, it's available. It's a quick pass, and you get an opportunity to score.
That's Jamie Rivers. That's the keys to victory and some other highlights for tonight that you might want to keep an eye on as the Blues host the Oilers. Let's light the lamp.
And a couple of guys can really shoot the puck.
Shooter!
I must confess you scored first.
Well, who was the first person?
Breakaway! Shoots! Score! We got hockey to learn.
So let's get an update here, because we've all been out in some capacity in the last week to 10 days, except for you, Anthony.
Yeah. 3 AF.
He's the toughest one here.
Thank you, Carey. Appreciate you.
All right, here are the updated standings. No one scored for the Blues on Friday, so we can just throw that out the window.
Which one of us scored?
Well,
on Friday?
Well,
yeah.
No. Okay.
Never mind. Here are the updated standings. Carey Davis, 13 points. I have 12 points. Jamie did pick up 2 points thanks to Dylan Holloway scoring against the Vancouver Canucks.
Congrats.
Anthony, you're at 6 points, but you're inchworming your way back into this contest.
Marsh, I appreciate that, but I was.
I didn't realize I was still in the lead.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whatever.
Yeah, congratulations.
He has it posted on his wall at home.
Yeah, he does.
Know.
Yeah, just like Bet the Board, fellas.
Just pick a player.
Hey, we're tied.
In Bet the Board?
And you're welcome.
Last month, I'm talking. Give me... What are we doing? What's going on here?
I'm just trying to see what you're...
Looking at some numbers.
Witchcraft you're trying to pull up over here.
I've been out of spite, been going in a certain direction.
Yeah.
Hasn't worked for me very well. I feel like I should do it again, but give me Dylan Holloway.
It's a good pick, former team.
Yeah.
So this player, last time he played against his former team, the fans of said former team were giving him crap because they didn't think he played that well. I think this guy scores a goal tonight.
I know
Give me Philip Broberg.
There it is. Okay. Let's see here. I think that Jake Neighbors has one in him. So Jake Neighbors, please.
All right, give me Jordan Kyrou.
It's a good
It's not
pick.
a bad
Thank you. It's a solid
pick. He keeps falling to you.
Right?
And it only works when you pick him, so.
Thank you.
All right, so now it's bet the board time.
Let's do it. Carey, you're up first.
Oh, give me, where'd it go? Jason Tatum, over 25.5 points.
I thought you were going to say points, rebounds, and assists.
I wish.
I was going to call your ass out.
I wish.
Is it me?
Sure.
Give me Zoosh's Kentucky Wildcats +5 at Ole Miss. Kentucky's still banged up, but they have dominated the Rebels' faces. Give me UK.
Give me Leon Draisaitl 3+ shots on goal tonight -145.
Good pick, Marsh.
Thank you.
Jamie?
Give me Leon Draisaitl tonight with the over on power play points. It's 0.5. It's at +140.
You hit that plus last night.
I did.
Yeah.
What was the Wizards plus?
4.5. Didn't need them.
Went out right, huh?
I don't remember you texting me that you didn't need the points. So we just said, hey, let's give him the 4.5.
I appreciate it.
But I knew you probably thought that, man, they ain't gonna need these.
They're gonna win outright.
Yeah, and they did. Nice job, Kerry. Nice job. Good pick, man.
Thank you.
Went on a limb, you got rewarded for it. Joe Vitale is going to join us next. We'll talk to him about the Blues and Oilers next on 101 ESPN.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Nick Leddy back in the Blue Note tonight as he and his teammates will take on the Edmonton Oilers. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you miss anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We'll talk with Joe Vitale as we get set for Blues and Edmonton Oilers tonight right here on 101 ESPN. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We got our guy Joe Vitale. Tonight, Blues, Oilers, pregame at 6 o'clock. Puck will drop at 7. Joe, how you doing today?
Hey, boys, doing well. How are you?
We're doing great, my man. We appreciate you. The biggest aspect about Nick Leddy returning to the Blues is?
Ooh, I would say some veteran calmness on the back end. You know what I mean? And I think that this team could certainly use a little, let's call it Jay Bouwmeester, calm presence, if you will. Nick's got that presence about him on and off the ice. You know, Ryan Suter's got it as well. I think Cam Fowler's starting to find his way with it. But there is a level right now, I think, guys, of this team, and certainly a great win the other day. But before that, you know, when it's struggling and things are coming unhinged, the games are getting out of hand, or maybe you're giving up a lead early in the game, there does seem to have good teams have ability to be calm, to kind of settle in, to have personalities on the bench, to be like, okay, everything's going to be all right. You don't necessarily need the hooting and the hollering and the rah-rah guys. You just need those calm and poised guys on the bench that can rally the group and just say, hey, let's just go out there the very next shift. Let's get back to the game we got to get back to. And I think Nick Leddy certainly serves that.
Joe, Jordan Kyrou reunited with Robert Thomas, Pavel Buchnevich. Had a pretty good night in Utah overall. Obviously, Jordan Kyrou with the game winner. That works pretty well. But your thoughts just out of last game, just the lines that have been kind of mixed up a little bit.
Yeah, I think. Listen, Riz. I look at the Jordan Kyrou line there, and I think that you put all that magic together, and you need to produce magic. You got Buchnevich, Kyrou, and then of course Robert Thomas. To me, you're three most powerful offensive guys on the same line. For anyone out there who says, "Why would you split them apart?" Well, you become more multidimensional if you can find a way to spread them apart, because then you have more of an attack where you have certain guys on the ice for half a game versus maybe, let's just say, a quarter. I look at that game, and I think it was kind of a microcosm to kind of their whole season, but I love their bounce back. It's a 1-0 game in the third period. I'm sure you saw it, Jamie, from the corner you were at, but, they're on the ice in a 1-0 game, and, Kyrou gets a little too cute with his neutral zone, turns it over, ends up in the defensive zone. Pavel Buchnevich can't get the puck out, and the puck ends up going up into the netting. But, two kind of softer plays that don't get done. And then, again, 1-0 game, Utah wins an offensive zone face-off, and Kesselring on the board, they tie it up. So that's where it's like, okay, here we go again. But I really appreciated the bounce back. A couple shifts later, it was the very next shift that Jordan Kyrou puts one right in the glove of Ingram. Of course, that could have gone in, and he didn't even see the shot. It was so quick. But then the following shift, Thomas from behind the net sets up Jordan Kyrou. And this is what elite lines do. This is what elite players do. They come up big in the right time of the game, and that's certainly what they did. So you look at those three as hopefully a confidence boost for them coming into this homestand, as them recognizing that, hey, this is the group that's going to get it done. This is the group that's going to step over the boards and make an impact on the game, not just get chances, not just get shots, not just get great A's. You got to get on the board. You got to find the back of the net, and you got to be the alphas if you want this thing to be driven in the right direction.
Joey, talk to me about Pavel Buchnevich. He seemed like he's running into a little bit of bad luck. He's only got one goal. His last goal was January 9th. He had that breakaway where he just swung and missed, looked like, on against I think it was against Utah. Just talk to me about what you're seeing from him and what's this going to take to get him going.
Yeah, Carey, I'm hoping it's this line. I think that, he's a streaky kid like most players in the NHL, and once they get one, hopefully that it can kind of snowball in the right direction. You know, what's amazing about this group of three is that the chemistry is inevitable where they're going to get things done. I love the way they anticipate plays. I love the way they anticipate places on the ice where they need to be in order to find the puck. That's what makes these guys really special. Now, for Buchnevich, I think for him, it's got to be that more of a shot mentality forward. I think the passing, the execution certainly is there, but I think for all three of those guys, but especially Pavel, I think it's at one point you got to release the puck. You got to get it at the net. Everyone's always obviously wanting that grade A backdoor, a high percentage goal, but at the same time, you know, the game is the game, and shots are shots. You know, I know that a lot of teams are, from an analytics standpoint, talk about backdoor plays, talk about cross-ice plays, and they're always looking for it. But to me, at the end of the day, it's a meat and potatoes game, and it's competitive, and you need to throw shots to the net. And I think for Buchnevich, he can certainly kind of channel some of the late 90s and 2000s San Jose Sharks teams, which, of course, as you know, Jamie, was just shot. I mean, you look up after the first period, probably 25, 26 shots on net. Certainly, yes, some of them were low percentage. Some of them were from the outside. But I'm always of belief that you throw pucks to the net, eventually more rebounds are going to spawn from that. More chaos ensues. You put the goaltender under more duress, and hopefully you take advantage. So I would say at the end of the day, more of a shot mentality about that entire line really could do them a lot of good.
Joe Vitale joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Joe, what has been the thing that has struck you most in an impressive way about Jim Montgomery now that he's back a second time around? Like, what is the thing that you have been most impressed by?
I think just his relaxed nature, you know, and we're at the press conference, you know, in Utah there. We're talking to him on the side, and this is a team that just dropped 4 in a row. I think a lot of coaches visibly show a lot of panic in those moments, but Jim has done such a good job keeping it very, very almost light, but also humorous. I think he connects well with the players. Like, he likes to joke with the players. He likes to keep things extremely light and fun, which I think obviously during this time of the year is super important. So to me, that's one thing that stands out. I think when players feel that from the head coach, it helps them kind of relax a little bit. It's certainly not a point where he doesn't care. It's not a point where he doesn't want the players to be focused. There's a focus to the game, but there's also a lightness that I think the players certainly can appreciate, especially some of these young guys.
Joe, you got quite a few tough games here this month. When you look at it, you know, as far as winning percentages and records, you got the Blackhawks on Saturday and the Kraken at the end of the month. That are those games where you're like, oh, those should be wins. How do the Blues approach the rest of this month? Because it's going to be weird. You got a couple of games here, 2-week break for almost the entire team, and then back right into it against the Jets in Colorado.
You know, Jamie, I think that, you know, you've been in these places before with All-Star breaks coming up or Olympic breaks coming up. You know, with this final homestand, this is the home stretch. I mean, the mindset for this team is all pedal down, baby. Like, let's go. Like, all hands grabbing the rope. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. There's nothing to save it for. You know, I think that, you know, players talk about taking one game at a time, but do they really know? You know, I mean, they're always looking at the game ahead, but they're also always looking at the schedule ahead. You know, and playing hockey, playing any sport, you know, it's like driving a car down a street. You know, certainly 90% of you is focused on what's right in front of you. But are you aware of the stoplight a couple blocks ahead? Is there a train coming, you know, a quarter mile ahead? You know, traffic jams, whatever. Like, you have to be real.
Sounds like a train that was coming for you, Joey.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what horn that was. It was some horn. But you know what I mean? So it's like you're aware of what's way ahead, and it's in the back of your mind. So, but I think this time of the year, I mean, right now with the break coming, I mean, there's nothing ahead. I mean, you're looking at that 2-week break as basically you want to exhaust yourself, almost like you're making a playoff push. That's what I'm hoping to see here tonight. That's what you're hoping out of the urgency and certainly the energy level of this group. You want that all pedal down to the floor and just let's rock and roll and get going.
Joey, we know the break is coming up. The players obviously looking forward to it because you get some time off your feet, you get to rest, recover, kind of get your mind back into things. How about you? What are you doing for the break? Are you going to be resting or are you going to be running around the household taking care of some things?
I'm going to be more stressed than ever, Carey. I come to work to find a little relief and find a little bit of break. But, you know, my son, Jamie, knows all about the Pee Wee Quebec tournament. Our sons are going to Jamal Mayers is the head coach, and me and Matt Lashoff help. but our kids are part of the 2012 age group. We're going to Pee Wee, Quebec, so I'll be up there for 10 days, freezing my you-know-what off and watching some youth hockey, just stress as can be. So that's about all I'm doing.
Joe, good man. I know Jamie's going down to Mexico, so a party for all of us, I'm sure.
Jamie's going to be just fine. He's going to get a tan for us both.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
You know it, buddy.
All right, Joe, have a great call tonight and a nice break no matter what you're doing.
Thanks, fellas. You guys have a great week.
Thanks. That's Joe Vitale here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Well, again, Blues Oilers tonight, pregame at 6, puck drops at 7. When we return, what we learned, plus criticisms and compliments, and Marsh's 3 stars of the day next on 101 ESPN. Great news, Missouri sports fans. Got great news for you. Underdog's available to play in your state. Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes during the big games. You got Eagles, you got Chiefs this Sunday. Which players are going to go off? Which ones are going to be ice cold? You can make your entries in just a few taps and see if you can become a champion. So if you're looking at the slate this weekend, maybe you like something on Saturday that involves a different sport. Then you can build your picks that way, and you can group them with a couple of plays from the big game on Sunday. Underdog Fantasy gives you a lot of different options, too. One of the options that I truly like is that you could go higher or lower on fantasy points. For example, I like Patrick Mahomes to go higher than 21.45 fantasy points. If you group that with let's say, Xavier Worthy over 6.5, higher 6.5 rushing yards. Perfect. Great. You know he's going to be involved at some point in the running game. Maybe Dallas Goedert goes off as well. Higher than 52.5 receiving yards. However you want to build your picks at Underdog Fantasy, it's completely up to you. Underdog is the best place to play champion. Sign up, deposit now with my promo code, which is Anthony, and to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. It's all you have to do. Just use the promo code Anthony. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry. One more time. That promo code is Anthony. Must be 18 or older and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions concerned with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast at 101ESPN.com or via the 101 Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's mobile app. All the podcasts, of course, brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. All right. What did we learn today? Carey, you want to kick us off?
I learned that Dylan Carlson was picked up by the Baltimore Orioles.
What?
When? They've been saying it on the snake pit. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was last week, actually.
Oh, are you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay. I was about to say the...
Don't you work in sports? You're supposed to know these things.
Good point.
Listen, the snake pit had a good thing going the other day on that.
They can't, but it was going today, yeah.
It was going today? Because of the gauntlet question?
I guess so. Probably, yeah.
Jamie.
I learned that durability is also important for an NFL head coach. Never mind that longevity, but that durability sure is important.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Staple over there.
Marshy?
I learned that you guys, I just know it, but you guys are just itching to punch somebody in the face. Like, I know you said, well, no, you know, like you guys, any time that it's available, you're just itching to do it. Like, if I might go and get into a situation just so I can see it, you know, because I know you guys. I'll take a punch to the face, you know.
No,
or maybe
if it gets
I'll take
that
a
far,
shove.
we've done our job.
I'll take a shove, you know.
I agree.
On purpose or something, you know. Maybe I'll flail my arms out like I'm Patrick Mahomes, you know, running on the sidelines, just to make it look like I've gotten hit, right? Just to see one of you guys step up.
Okay,
all right.
That won't be a problem.
Sounds like a bit of a challenge,
yeah, a
too.
little bit.
Let's see if you step up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, okay. I'm your puppet. Okay.
I think you're glad. I think you're happy too.
Fine with it.
Yeah. What I learned, and this was shocking when I saw the evidence for myself. Gumby does not have shoulders.
That was the greatest.
Jamie said it. I was like, nah, of course he's got shoulders.
Yeah.
And Jamie literally said, doesn't he just have arms that stick out? That's it, right? And he's right.
To just stick
Arms
out
just stick out.
of whatever he is.
No shoulders on Gumby. So that was tough. That's tough to hear. But
you know who does have shoulders?
Who's that?
It might not be a healthy one, but it's Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that's right.
He does have. It's healthy.
No, he is now.
Yeah.
But if you saw if you saw that Minnesota game,
Anthony,
if you saw the Denver game, if you saw
any game not versus
Charger game, right? The 3 picks.
Oh, that was terrible.
That wasn't him. It's the shoulder injury. So go ahead and call the Falcons. 1-800-FALCON. I'm sure the math adds up on that. And just go ahead and send us Max Crosby.
Yeah. Mac Crosby.
Either way.
Call 1-800-FALCON or go to www.weneedkirkcousins.com.
Could do that too.
Yeah. All right, Marsh, what do you got for criticisms and compliments?
All right, let's see what the text line is saying today. I know we had a few people that were just praising us and saying just how great our show is.
Oh, that's
and
very
that
nice.
They really love listening to the show. It gets them through the day.
We appreciate that big time. By the way, Gator said, what I learned, and Gator's in the snake pit, what I learned is that if I'm ever in a bar fight, I want the fast lane fellas on my side. Gator, at any point, we've got you.
Yes.
Even if we have to go to Gainesville, we don't care.
Oh, I would gladly go to Gainesville to do that.
Yeah, nobody's...
Punch a Floridian in the mouth?
What?
Why not?
My parents live there.
Well, they should get out of the way.
Nobody's safe. Good call, Jamie.
Jamie, we had a texter yesterday. I believe it was yesterday. Yes, from the 314 asking about your hangers. And they texted in again and said, hey, Jamie, notice the hangers are still there.
They are.
They must be well hung.
What the hell are you doing?
I get dressed here 3 times a week, Carey.
What the hell are you doing?
Right?
You just building up. What's going on over there?
You know, shut up. Okay? I'll bring the friggin' hangers home tonight. Bad enough I got Ashley yelling at me. Yeah, the hangers.
They're here.
The hanger monster's eating hangers. I mean, she doesn't say it quite like that. It's a little nicer.
Somehow I got roped into this next text.
No.
From the 314 Marsh, if you guys spend a couple of months hammering the Cardinals for trading away Dylan Carlson for nothing, it is kind of on you to keep track of him. Otherwise, you look clueless. That's just the truth. I knew.
I knew too.
I knew it immediately when it happened.
We all did.
Carey may not.
Well, I don't know what's going on next segment, so, you know.
Well, we don't have.
Stick around next segment, Carey.
Carey, don't worry. We got you covered.
Carey opens up about his college years. Coming up next year.
I'll be opening up about the Wizards pick that I made yesterday and how great it was.
You were a wizard
great pick.
with that pick.
Yeah.
It was a great
Even
pick.
when I wasn't even
No.
ready to make it.
You didn't need to be.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. Guys try to do something and doesn't work that way.
What is he talking about?
What are you talking about?
You picked them.
Did you or did you not hit your bet?
I did.
Then what are you whining about?
Because my guy over there.
I wouldn't call him your guy after that.
He's the king of spite.
Hey, 1-0. You know what? I still haven't heard a lot of thank yous for the massive underdogs I've been giving you lately.
Go Flyers.
All right, so that didn't work out. Okay.
All right, 3 stars of the day. Third star of the day goes out to our first names.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit today. Yep.
Don't call me Andy.
Don't call me Andy.
Anthony, don't call me Tony.
Yep.
Carey, I like to go by Eric.
Yeah, but not, well, did. Not now.
Yeah, not now.
Mm-hmm. Now he appreciates it.
Mm-hmm.
Second star of the day goes to Gumby.
Hey.
Yeah, Gumby.
Without shoulders.
Yep. What was the horse's name he liked to ride?
Secretariat.
Nah.
Was it Pokey or something?
What was the name?
Pokey the horse?
Oh,
what was the name of the horse? Jamie?
I don't know, Anthony.
Okay.
It's your story.
Pokey. It was Pokey.
Thank you.
Yeah. Pokey.
Pokey the horse. Gumby
Did the horse have shoulders?
No.
No. That would have made Gumby pissed. How did the horse get shoulders and not me? That's what Gumby would say.
Probably.
First star of the day, a unanimous choice by all of the listeners, goes to Carey's Blue Chew and Deck Combo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
You want to
Take that Blue Chew. Fix your deck in a hurry, Carey.
Got that big old deck?
Yeah.
And want to make sure that you support it.
Blue Chew will do it.
Yep.
You sure will.
No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, we got Blues and Oilers pregame coming up in less than 5 minutes. For Andrew Marsh, for Kerry Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.